So I don't know what more I could have done.
No, my first pick was Steph.
Then my first pick was Jokic. I knew it was one of them.
I picked Steph. I picked Booker. It's a good thing it wasn't a draft of teams because mine would just dominate.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I mean, my picks was pretty solid. Long game. I made some great picks. My first pick was KD, which wasn't a terrible first pick. It was not a terrible first pick. What are we doing?
It is.
No way.
KD, you don't win.
Oh damn.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I give you that,
Unless
but
you put him with someone better.
I mean, in all fairness, there's a lot of guys on that list that we picked that don't win nothing. So I mean, that's a bad example. That's a bad reasoning.
That's what I was saying. I was saying my team would have won. That was my point. I mean,
the building. Booker ain't this all-time winner. Hold on, he might be an all-time non-misser, but winner? That's not in his wheelhouse yet.
He made it to the finals that one time.
That makes him a winner? Oh man, Jimmy Butler. Hey, but you're number one for a reason.
My playoff performer shooting 79% right now over the last few games.
Let's see what happens when a real big man is in the paint to play defense. How about that? Let's see what happens when you got a real big man to stop all that mid-range pull-up BS nonsense he got going on. When we keep him out there on the perimeter and he looking like Klay Thompson, then we gonna see how great of a playoff riser he is. Let me stop hating.
Please stop doing that because you sound wild right now. You do.
Crazy.
You sound super wild right now. Dude. Please. Big Ox, what up, big fella?
What's going on?
Tone, what up? Mars Blackman, Ticket TV, Damo, what's going on, fellas?
Yo.
Chill.
How we living today, fellas? I want to go ahead and bring this draft up so everybody can see what it is that we're talking about. And this is our best players in the 2023 NBA playoffs. How y'all feeling about this? Chat, let us know how you guys feel about this. Where did things go bad or where did things go good?
Pick
Y'all
Who was number 10? Who got picked at 10?
bad because
who's at 10?
Hold on. It's bad because you guys are inconsistent. And I mean, I didn't put this guy on the list, but if you guys got AD second, he should be right up there with AD. And that's cheesecake over teammates, man. That's titties over titles, man. That's James Harden, man. James Harden don't won his boys 2 games against the Celtics. No, don't say that. Hey, hold on, don't say that. You sitting back, you like I said, you leaning back like Joe again. But once again, James Harden has done the same thing AD has been. Wildly inconsistent, but guess what? He got 2 wins. He got Don't smush your face up and look like the Rock. Yes. Once again, hold on. Fluent said the numbers. Hold on. Fluent brought fact about AD in the playoffs this year. Fluent named 12-point game, 13-point game, 11-point game. All these games AD have had in the playoffs, but you, sir, have not kept the same energy.
All-time defense. You're not going to start off lying. I'm not going to start off lying. Not with me. Not with
Meanwhile, James Harden did what none of you guys, except for me, said that he couldn't do. I was the only one up here that said he could do a virtuoso. He didn't do 1. He did 2.
Ticket, are you sitting here talking to us like we didn't just see him disappear for the last 3 days like I said he would? You're going to leave that out?
You're not hearing me. Hold on.
No, I heard everything that you just said.
No. That wasn't my point.
So are we just going to forget about what he just said?
Real time.
Yes, let's forget about that. Yes,
I have no problem. I have no problem. Grilltown, I have no problem with you saying that. I'm just telling my man right here, Damo, keep that same goddamn energy for AD. Because when AD disappears in multiple playoff games, like he's probably going to do again tonight, he's done it every other game. Every other game he disappeared in the playoffs. Hold on, I'm going to say it again. Hold on. If I'm lying, please tell me I'm lying, Fluent, if I'm lying.
It's an even number game. It's an even number game. He's going to go for like 12 and 7 and better defense.
So I'm going to say it again, but y'all don't keep that same energy. Y'all don't keep that same energy. He have done the same thing.
He wasn't kept.
No. Don't keep that same energy for James Harden because it's way more inconsistent.
No. Hold on, Grilltown. Let me finish. And this is why I'm saying this.
Why do you always get?
Hold on. They closed out Brooklyn. Without Embiid, and he's won 2 games against the Celtics already, and he's the key if they're gonna win the series. If hold on, he's playing for them right now. Hold on. This is facts.
We're giving him credit for Brooklyn.
Damo. I know you ready to wet the bed, but hold on, you out the bed already. Now hold on 1 second, Damo. I said this last week on TV. I said this last week on here, and they said it last night on TNT. James Harden is the key to the series, bro. I told you guys this before the series started of how he was going to control the series and how he was playing against those Boston Celtic guards. He have given you 2 40-point games in this series, something that Chilltown and everybody else that's listening in this room didn't think he could do. And Doug, you duck the show when your ass is on the line. You don't show up when you get your ass cooked. You came in, y'all did all that slander to him, and this is the thing I don't like about y'all. Y'all don't keep that same energy when it comes to AD, when he have all these wildly bad games. But when James Harden, as soon as he dropped the 45 and came back with the bad games, here you go with the slander. Oh, this is James Harden showing up again. But once again, he pulled up yesterday, and I'm gonna tell you how big that was. He had the whole weight of the world on his shoulders in that game. Because if he plays bad that game, he probably gets no contract next year. His whole thing is on the line. What he did yesterday was he potentially changed this series and gave Philly a chance to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. And if they do advance to the East Finals, and they do end up going on to the NBA Finals, yesterday's game would have been the biggest game of the season by any starter.
So let's here and lie. Go ahead, Chill. Go ahead.
So let's rewind. If he wets the bed yesterday, he potentially doesn't get a contract moving forward. Well, that's not true, and the reason why is because we already know who he is.
So I said a big contract.
So it's not news.
No, I'm saying the money he won. No, I'm saying the money he won. We already know that the 3 years, $120 million, them days is over for him. We already know that. That's a wrap. Nobody's extending him at that kind of money. Houston.
Nobody's extending him at that kind of money. Houston is not doing that.
You want to make a bet?
We got Jalen Green. We're good.
You want to make a bet?
Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly, Ticket. Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly, Ticket. So Houston, when he was there, put a 2-year, $100 million extension on the table at $50 million. So now 3 years later, 4 years later, we got a different James Harden, and now they're gonna put another $120 million in 3 years on the table for him. This is the worst team in the league, by the way. That's what you're telling me.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, Houston wants James Harden. Hold on. You asked me a question.
I'm asking you a question. I'm listening.
The owner from Houston loves James Harden, bro. He's willing to break that bread to bring James Harden back. Because not only have you heard that, you've also heard that they're willing to come up those young players to go get a Jaylen Brown too, who's disgruntled with the Celtics. These are facts. So James Harden.
That's why they'll remain at the bottom of the Western Conference.
I know Fluent. Well, I'm saying, but you know I'm not lying, though. You know I'm not lying, Fluent. That's all I'm saying to you.
What you're saying is true, but it's the worst.
Right. So that's the point. I'm glad my boy Fluent always got my back when I need him. He said it was true what I said. So, yes, there is a team that was willing to give James Harden that money, and it's the Houston Rockets.
No, they haven't.
Bro, you can say whatever you want to say.
You're not selling that.
Your boy Fluent just said you a lie.
No, he didn't say anything about me lying. I didn't hear the Houston Rockets say
that no team is gonna pay him that kind of money. We just told you Houston will.
I said that Philadelphia, them days of $120 million at 3 years, them days are over. Houston ain't paying him $40 million. You just said you want to bet. Okay, Ticket. You said you wanted to bet. Put some bread on it.
We can put a cool 500 on it. We can put a cool 500 on it.
With that being said, what we have to remember here is, as good as James Harden played, the mismatches that Philadelphia wasn't taking advantage of. For example,
no excuses. Y'all didn't make those excuses when they won. Don't make them excuses when Harden bust their ass, man. Embiid was struggling yesterday. Embiid was struggling, and James Harden.
No, he was not. Here's the problem that we're having here. Once again, Ticket. Here's the problem that we're having here. Why are we not exploiting the mismatch of Marcus Smart on Joel Embiid? Why is Marcus Smart? You know why they can't do it? Here's why they can't do it, because they're not using them correctly. So when Joel Embiid is at the pinch post, where he's at the free throw line and he's squared up on Marcus Smart, which he shouldn't be, what he can do, get the ball out and repost and bury Marcus Smart underneath the basket. When he gets Grant Williams on him, 17 feet away from the basket, when he's bigger than Grant Williams, repost, get him in the mid post and operate there, as opposed to standing in front of Marcus Smart, 16 feet away from the basket, throwing the ball between your legs like you're 6'5". That's not going to work. Where was he the most effective? In the mid post and on the box, particularly against Marcus Smart and Grant Williams. Now, when you got, who am I thinking about? When you got Al Horford on you, when you have Al Horford on you, you could drag him away from the basket. Why? Because dragging him away from the basket means less rebounding for them. And that means that you can be more effective. When you got Marcus Smart on you, who you have almost a foot on, you should definitely be closer to the basket.
Chilltown, I'm gonna say this to you, dog. And y'all, you're wrong, bro. Well, and it's I'm disappointed in you, bro. I'm really disappointed in you as a brother, man, because you cap it. I'm gonna say it one last time. The Houston Rockets, and you can take this to the bank, will pay James Harden what he wants. Period. Him doing what he's done a couple games in this series will justify them in their mind. That's all it takes. Them paying him that money. Hold on. And let me go beyond that to say this. But let me go beyond that to say this. Even as bad as James Harden has played in these playoffs, as bad as he's played, he still shot 42% from the three-point line this whole playoffs. He still shot 87% from the free throw line this whole playoffs. He still averages 23 points per game in the playoffs. He still averages 8.1 assists per game in the playoffs.
I don't think that's a question.
No.
Nobody.
So hold on, Grilltown. So what I'm saying to you is this. I'm saying to you is that he has still proven that not only can he put up big numbers, but he can close now in the big games. He's proven that to you not once, but 2 game winners against the Boston Celtics. If that ain't big, I don't know what is.
Well, he actually has the difference is he actually has done that in the past. But you know what else he's done? Those last 2 games, which has cost his team series. That's the point.
10 years ago, bro. But he's showing you again now. They showed the stat. They showed the stat. Before game 1, the last time James Harden hit a go-away winning shot in the playoffs was a decade ago. They showed it on ESPN. No. So all I'm saying is, Dom, this is what I'm saying. Players in the playoffs is where you can earn your check, where you earn your money.
Right.
Right now, bro, before we went into this series, when Embiid was weary, everybody was saying them Boston in five, maybe a sweep. I was the only one on here telling y'all that this dude could do a virtuoso and go crazy. Everybody said I was insane. He did it one time, and everybody said, oh, it's over with. That was an aberration. He pulls up with all the weight on him yesterday. That's the biggest weight you can have, the weight he had on him yesterday. He does it again. And guess what, Chilltown? He's the key to win this series. If he win this series, bro, that money you said he don't get paid, Philly's paying him that money. He win this series.
You didn't like the coach more than you thought James Harden was going to do what he was going to do. I knew James Harden could exploit them because I know that the Boston Celtics are overrated with Philly. They have multiple guards that can attack them. That's how you have to beat Philly. That's why it was so special with Harden yesterday, is because Maxey was playing like trash. Tobias Harris was playing like trash. Embiid was playing like trash. This dude don't show up hot. If he don't show up hot, they going home. It's over with. So why are we discounting what the Boston Celtics did defensively? Like you just said, they was playing like trash.
What did they do? They got cooked, nigga. What did they do?
What do you mean? What did they do? So we talking about a guy in Jason Tatum who didn't have it going early. So what does he do? Mm-hmm. Jason Tatum pulls down almost 20 rebounds. He has 3 blocks. He was great in transition defensively on Tobias Harris. Same thing with Jaylen Brown, who got into foul trouble early and did a really good job on Maxey in transition. Yes, they lost, which I was surprised that they lost because I actually thought that they were going to pull away late, especially considering when they cut that 12-point lead in the fourth quarter. I was surprised at that. But with that being said, defensively, they weren't terrible. They were really good.
Bro, you think they was good on James Harden yesterday?
Do I think
they did what they could?
That's my point. Hold on, time out. That's my point to you. That's my point to Damo. That's my point to everybody. Maxey was trash. If we would have came before the game and told you Maxey was trash.
You keep saying
Tobias was trash. If we would have told you Embiid was struggling, you would have said they get their ass whooped. James Harden won that game straight. First he took it to overtime. Am I lying, Fluent? Did he not take it to OT?
He hit that big three ball. Yes, he did.
Then he took it to the rack, tied it up, and took it to OT with the floater. Then he wins in OT, bro. Come on, man. Y'all some haters, bro. Y'all some cold-blooded haters, man. I can rock with that shit, man. Y'all niggas don't keep the same. I'm shit, bro.
Curious. I'm actually really curious who specifically you're saying it, because I believe Mars and I both picked the Sixers to win this series.
No, I didn't say that. But that wasn't how y'all picked them. I'm talking about James. This dude right here in Grilltown is a goddamn lie. This man set up here and said no team. You said no team would pay James Harden that kind of money. With the way he has performed in this playoffs, the Houston Rockets gonna open up the book, the checkbook, and your partner in crime told you to set up your line, nigga.
Wait. Why you keep saying I'm lying? Is there a contract on the table today?
They already said that. They already said they're going to offer them come back.
His opinion is that no one's going to pay him.
So why is that a lie? I don't understand why it's a lie.
The Houston Rockets have already put it out there that they're willing to spend to get James Harden back.
Okay, well, here's the problem with that. I don't know if you know this, Ticket. That's called tampering, Goofy. You can't do that. If somebody's already on somebody else's roster, you can't do that.
It is what it is.
It's tampering. What
are you talking about, Ticket? But yet I'm lying.
And this why y'all look like a bunch of buffoons. You sit up here and try to play me. You sit up here and try to play me. No. You guys sit up here. You sit up here and you curl up your faces. You curl up your faces. Hold on. You curl up your faces. You curl up your faces and talk all this shit. And low.
You're just up here talking.
No, I'm not. No, I'm telling. Oh, no. I'm telling the goddamn truth. I'm telling the goddamn truth. And yeah. Oh, and hold on. And let me say this too. Here go another truth too. Why your boy Low ain't show up today? Why his ass on vacation again? Running around here telling us we need to. You guys need to praise Jokic. Praise Jokic for what? Praise him for what?
All right, fellas. I gotta intervene. I have to intervene.
Your ass every day. You say yo Dom. Hey Ron. I want Dom ass 1-on-1. If Dom, if AD don't show up tonight,
and look at basketball reference.
If AD does not show up tonight,
that's an easy check. What? That's easy.
You can't beat me. How about that? You can't beat me. How about that? You can't beat me. I'll bust your ass. How about that? I'll bust your ass. How about that?
You can never do that.
I'll bust your ass. How about that?
Yo, fellas.
I can do this. I can do this.
20 minutes to
straight like that.
I wish I could do that.
I'll bust your ass.
I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit. I'll give you flowers. Bro. I can't do it. I can't sit up here and look these grown men in their faces.
What are the excuse for AD gonna be at tonight, nigga?
And I just lie.
Okay.
I just come up here and lie and babble.
All right.
That's crazy.
All right,
y'all. Whew. Dub, start out to the show. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next segment. How's everybody feeling today?
Playoffs, y'all.
Nah, man, this shit ain't cool. These dudes don't keep the same energy. If this was AD who did that yesterday, oh, we praise him. Oh yeah, he the greatest. Since it was James Harden, these niggas coming here mellow. I don't want to hear that.
Bad, but everyone looked at me and said I was crazy.
I don't want to hear that, nigga.
I just want to make sure that I just want to make sure that I'm clear. Real quick, Damo.
But I don't want to say that Ticket is right, but we actually never got a chance to give James Harden his flowers, because you're right, he played a phenomenal game, and
that's number one.
That matters. Absolutely.
That's number one. Number two, if I'm not mistaken, Damo, did Anthony Davis play exactly 1.5 minutes in the fourth quarter of that game 3? If I'm not mistaken, had he not played, was he not on his way to 35 and 15? Was that not going to happen?
We're not saying he wasn't.
Was that not going to happen?
That looked like I agree with you on that. So what are you gonna do tonight? What are you gonna do tonight?
So because of that, We talking about the dude.
What are you gonna do tonight?
Well, we're gonna find out what he's gonna do tonight.
Yo, fellas, I must intervene because I have to. Hey, since we're talking about what AD's gonna do tonight, I'm actually going to pull up a graphic from our people over here at Underdog Fantasy. We're actually gonna talk about what AD is actually gonna do tonight. Now, we're gonna see what exactly is gonna be his stats for the night. And I'm going to tell you guys whether he's going to go higher or whether he's going to go lower. Now, for the people in the chat, you can see pinned at the top of the chat, way up there at the top of the chat, you can see that you can go ahead and click that link. And if you enter the promo code, the panel, we will match up to $100 what you put in. So if you put in 20, your account will reflect 40. If you put in 100, your account will reflect 200. Now, as you can see right here, we have AD right here. And 14 rebounds is what he's projected to do tonight. I'm going to say lower. But for the 41.5 points with the rebounds and the assists, I'm going to say higher. I think AD's going to go crazy tonight, courtesy of Damo. Hey, I'm putting my money on Damo tonight. My money is on Damo. And we just going to keep it like that. AD's going higher. 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Energy won't be the same, Ron. Energy won't be the same. Damo talking about somebody lying. Damo talking about somebody lying. But he the same dude that came up here and told Fluent. He said he told Fluent in Chilltown. Hold on, Dom. I'm gonna ask you one question, Dom. Did you tell Fluent in Chilltown that it didn't matter if AD played good or bad? You were still gonna push the same narrative, even if he played bad the next game. If you played good the next game.
Because I know what he's capable of in a series. I'm not going game by game with my emotions on a player. I know what's going to happen. As long as we win the series and get this ring, I'm going to keep praising AD because he's going to play marvelous through the series. What's the problem with that? Why am I going to sit here and cry and moan and de-rank a guy with one loss and bad performance when he can come out and drop 30 and 15 with 5 blocks the next performance? And what I'm going to do, replace him right where I had him before? That's stupid, Ticket.
No, it's not. It's only stupid niggas who don't know basketball like you.
Okay.
Like I said, I'll bust your ass in real life. I will bust your ass in real life. Hey, Ron. Forget Bob. Hey, Ron. Forget Bob. Hey, Ron. Forget Bob. Ron, I got 10 G's. Hey, Ron, I got 10 racks. Set it up. I will bust this nigga ass. He won't score a point. Hey, Ron, set it up, Ron. I will bust this nigga ass. He won't score a point. I put 10 racks on that shit. Hey, Ron, I'll pull up on that shit, nigga. Hey, wherever you want to get it, I'll bust your ass on camera, nigga.
Stop it.
All right, fellas, we about to get back to basketball.
Hey,
hold on.
Run.
What's
Run.
up?
How much did you put in that bet there with Underdog Fantasy?
That was 50.
It was 50, and it was that he was going to score more than 41.
It was points, rebounds, and assists.
Points, rebounds, and assists. A combined 41 points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah, over 41.5.
Okay,
so 42.
Okay, so randomize anyone in the chat and just give him $50 because that's what you just did. You just threw away your money.
Okay, well,
12 and 7. Let me see. 12 and 7 is 19 and 3 assists. 22. It'll be under 25. Under 25. You heard it from.
Well, here's the thing, you guys. If you don't believe that that's gonna, be the case,
go bet the under. Don't follow.
Download Underdog Fantasy.
Yeah.
Use the promo code THEPANEL, and then you put your money on lower, and then you'll get 50. Or if you put in 100, you'll get 200. However, but or you could follow the wise guys. Speaking of the wise guys, Damo tickets, y'all good?
I'm fine. The day I let somebody who don't turn their camera on talk about what they're gonna do to me on camera is the day I'm done with YouTube. What are we talking about?
Nigga, I'll pull up. It ain't no thing. Nigga, just drop the ad.
Yo. Time out. PC weekend is coming soon. August is
Ron. I hope these dudes.
What happened?
When we go to real court, all this talking, when we go to real court, all this talking gonna stop. All this trolling in the comment section, all that shit gonna stop. We go to real court, Don't stop, man. Straight up, I'm embarrassed, niggas. I'm embarrassed, motherfucker. You think I'm playing, nigga?
So, Ticket, you gonna dominate PC weekend?
Nigga, listen, nigga, talk about it. Nigga, I did this shit in real life, nigga. My whole life dedicated to this shit. You think I'm gonna let a nigga like that tell me my whole life been dedicated to the game? You think I'm gonna let a nigga tell me I don't know about basketball, but them niggas won't keep the same energy? I sat up here and told them niggas what James Harden was gonna do. They don't keep the same energy, but this nigga will come in here and break the curtain cloth nigga like AD all the time. Come on, man.
Who is he talking to?
Hey, Harden, salute to you, James. Salute to you. Keep busting these dudes' ass. Because when you do it, I promise you, James, I'm gonna come in here and step on their helmets.
You won't slide for James Harden? Okay. Whoa.
All right, y'all. We're gonna continue to keep it moving. I want to stay on this game, but Mars, I want to hear what was your thoughts and reflections on the 76ers game in Celtics.
The refs tried to rob my Philadelphia 76ers. It was a block. it was a block on Marcus Smart. It was a push off on Jason Tatum. They were doing everything they could to make it that we wasn't going to win this series in 6. But James Harden showed up and got us the win, and then we're going to close out the series in the next 2 games, Philly in 6.
No doubt. Chill, you want to talk to us a little bit more about the game?
Yeah, I thought that the Philadelphia 76ers held on for dear life at the end. I'm not going to get into the referee logic because referees blows calls, no question about that. But we can't discount the 12-point lead that they had in the fourth quarter where Boston went on an 11-0 run. So we can't leave that part out. That had nothing to do with officiating.
No, we were just trying to practice clutch time situations. That's all it was.
So that's what it was. So you let them back in the game to make sure that you just wanted to keep the drama going on.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that our clutch time offense was operating well. That's what it was.
How was that going, by the way?
Yeah, we came out with a win. So
you did. You did come out.
But the offense is concerning. Very stagnant.
Of course,
stagnant. And
I think so.
I still don't like how Doc Rivers is using Embiid. It's just a high pick and roll to get him at the nail and then expect him to just isolate. And then if a double comes, kick out to the corner. It's such a bad offense in 2023. Like that's like a 2011 offense right there. But we're still going to win this series in 6. And then we're going to beat Miami in the conference finals. And then we'll see what we do against Phoenix in the finals.
And with that being said, it's exactly what I went back to a little while ago, Ron, when you talk about having Joel Embiid at the free throw line extended against Marcus Smart, he's got almost a foot on him, and he should be basically punishing him more than anybody. He should straight be punishing him. But allowing Marcus Smart to cover you, I think that's a discredit to how good he is offensively. They need them speeding up the offense. They need them speeding up the offense and playing in transition. I think that works in stretches. The biggest problem that they have is when they get into the half court. When they get Joel Embiid at the top of the key, the double team comes, it's shorter as opposed to when Joel Embiid is on the block where you got to cover more space. That's why guys like Maxey, that's why guys like Melton Anthony get wide open looks, because when that double team comes from the weak side, now you got to cover way more space on the weak side of the floor as opposed to when you at the top of the key and Joel Embiid got the ball and Marcus Smart is basically standing 6 feet away from him and he can double team him. And they got to get more action off the basketball, which they don't get at all.
Yo, fellas, my only question is, so after these last couple games, did this list change at all for anybody?
Tatum moved down to me. Like I already had the questions about if he had it in him, if he was that guy. I posed maybe they got two good twos on that team. He's going down, in my opinion. In that moment, listen, I've never thought Jason Tatum as a guy that graduated from LeBron University of passing the ball in big moments. I never seen him as that guy. I thought he was a Kobe guy. For him to do that in that moment where you could have took what seemed to be like a pull-up midi you could take, which I don't know why he shied away. Literally, you could have took a pull-up midi in that situation.
Pull-up. That's what I thought it was.
And you would have won. We would have talked about you differently. But you drive like Rondo and then kick it out and don't give Marcus Smart enough time to finish the shot. That's a bad look on you, honestly. And to back that up with the multiple bad performances or bad offensive performances, he did other things on the court religiously whenever he's not scoring. It just is a bad look for a guy that's supposed to be number one.
Yo,
Julius Randle fell down the list as well, all the way off of it. But
shouldn't be on the list. Yeah,
facts. Just move him all the way.
Okay, I got you. Hold on, we got a spot for Julius right here.
Take him over.
Who goes on the list though? If Julius comes off, We gotta put somebody on the list now.
Is Al
Anyone.
Horford on the list?
Anyone.
Nah.
I'm about to say we can move everybody up one and put Al Horford at 30.
Can you pull up the list real quick again? Is James Harden on the list?
He didn't make it, no.
Oh,
There you
forgot
go.
about that.
Now you gotta remember when we did this.
Yeah, he was
is true.
on that stretch.
We gotta remember when we did this, and it was because of how James Harden was playing in the playoffs. So we gotta remember when we did this, and when you get new information, your opinion can change. Sure, absolutely.
So there you go. There's the one off, one on.
Julius Randle's still too high.
And Devin Booker should move up somehow, some way.
You know what you do, Ron? Just add like a 0 at the end of the 31, and then Julius Randle.
I mean, yeah, there's 15 roster spots in the NBA, 16 teams in the playoffs, 15 times 16, 240. Get him at 240. That's what you need to do.
I had him at 310.
Yeah, just he can't be there.
So we're all off, Julius.
I'll take Damian Lillard in the playoffs over Julius Randle.
Damn.
He ain't even made it in 2 years. I'm still taking him.
Yo, Ox, we haven't heard from you much today. Would you like to talk about the Sixers and the Celtics game and your thoughts and feelings on that?
First of all, let me start by saying good morning, PC family. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, panel. This series in particular is what we call who can fold the best. This has just been simply who can fold the best. You know,
Which one of y'all don't want to win?
Yeah,
How about
James Harden can't decide which game he want to show up. I told y'all before that Jaylen Brown is the man on that team. Jason Tatum folds like laundry. I always get biggest silver dollars when it's time to get busy. Morris said I talk like a 72-year-old because those last couple plays by the Celtics were just terrible basketball. It's terrible basketball. You can't. I personally have mental breakdowns when I watch basketball and a team is either down by one or tied up and they shoot a three. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that makes me nuts.
It doesn't make any sense. But you got to get to the rim. You got to play better basketball. So as far as the full breakdown on what happened in the game, this and that, I mean, it's professional basketball. Until the end, it just comes down to who wants to fold today. And yesterday, the Celtics folded. I told y'all before, Al Horford is a living legend, and y'all put some respect on that man there. Other than that, we'll see what happens in Game 5. Who's gonna fold?
We gotta chill out. We gotta chill out too, Big Ox, with the Embiid is a bump. We gotta chill out on that. We gotta chill out on Embiid.
Chilltown, he does bum shit. Like sometimes he wants to board and sometimes he wants to do bum shit. Like I mean, I would if he wasn't a great, I wouldn't like when I call cats bums, y'all realize I'm only talking about the top tier guys that just tend to do bum shit. Like I know he's an incredible basketball player,
right?
But it's just like, oh, what are you doing? Y'all, you said it yourself. You can't be 8 feet tall and not post Marcus Smart up when he has you on the block. That's bum shit. Like, you know, to me,
yeah.
What are you doing out here? What are you doing standing at the free throw line? What are you doing at the 3-point line? Marcus Smart is 6'1". All right, get him on the block. You know what? There was a couple plays last night where he did that, and I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. Let's get busy. So I don't mean like he's a bum, like he's garbage. Like I know better than that. I see the man work. But he just in James Harden just disappears too much. I'm just disappointed in Jason Tatum. I'm just disappointed.
What do you score, like 0 points in the first half?
The first half, it was like 2. It was like 2 points on 2 for 9 shooting in the first half.
He went 0 for 8.
I thought he was 0 for 8 in the first half.
Yeah, he went 0 for 8. Yeah, he went 0 for 8.
How do you come into a playoff game and you're the guy? You're the best player. You're the MVP candidate caliber player and scored nothing. Like,
here's the difference though, Tone. The difference is that in the third quarter, he makes his next 7 shots.
Great.
That's the difference.
And I dug myself a huge hole here, but I built a ladder to get out of it.
Right.
Like, that's the inconsistency that drives me nuts when you tell me about Tatum, and I go, he drives me nuts because he'll do stuff like that.
Right.
It's crazy. He's too good to be doing that. He's too good to be doing it.
Can I ask y'all in the chat? When y'all in the chat saying like, "Oh, Marcus Smart is 6'3" or whatever," but I don't care. Like Joel Embiid is 7 feet tall, 6'1" and 6'3" is the same thing, bro.
Same thing.
I don't care. I don't care if he was 6'4", 6'5". Get him on the
small
block
dude.
and abuse him. That's 6'3". I don't care. 6'3", 6'1", 5'8", same shit.
Yeah. You're a small dude on a big dude.
When PJ Tucker hit that and-1 and got in his ear and was chewing him out, and you seen him pointing to the block, you know what that conversation was. And it had me thinking, how many great, because Chill said something the last time we was here, and it really put some things in perspective. Guys that you consider super great now, think about other all-time greats. So maybe not compare AD to Shaq, but I can't be like, what would Hakeem do in this situation? I can't think of any time I've seen an all-time great big. Has there ever been a time when they needed a PJ Tucker moment like that, or needed to be chewed like that in a game like this in the playoffs? Ever? Has there ever been a guy like that?
Mm-mm. Not that I'm aware of. I remember Avery Johnson getting on David Robinson. Mm-hmm. I remember Avery Johnson getting on David Robinson, but I also remember David Robinson showing up also. But in that aspect, we ain't talking about a guy getting on you, telling you to get on the box because you got a small dude on you. That's not a conversation that we need to have. When you're an elite big man and you're an elite big man who can score, that's not a conversation that we need to have. Now, sure, you don't have to play like Jabbar. You don't have to play like Olajuwon. You don't have to play like Shaq. But when you have a smaller man on you, there's no reason for me to be standing 17 feet away from the basket, throwing the ball between my legs, showing everybody, oh, look what I can do. I can throw the ball between my legs. I can shoot the mid-range. You know what looks even better? Your team got more points than our team at the end of the game because you were on the box. That looks a lot better.
And you know what it is? It's guys, and I hate to pick on him. Because he's not here, but it's guys like Lowe who spin these narratives, like when he talks about John Stockton and says, oh, he never made the flashy pass. You know what? Because sometimes it's better to make the simple play. I'm 7'2". I got a guy who's 5'0" on me. I'm just going to mosey on down to the post. You're going to throw it into me. I'm going to drop step and dunk on him and get my 2 points and be on back on defense. Like sometimes that's all you need to do. And
not sometimes. Not sometimes.
A lot of times, you're right. And we don't do that anymore. It's not entertaining. The kids won't like it. It's not good for TV. But you know what? Wins games.
And about the all-time bigs who have had to put the fire inside them, I think I could be wrong because this is way before my time, but I think Bill Sharman, when he was coaching the Lakers, said something similar about Wilt Chamberlain, about how he needs to be a lot more aggressive and look to score more. Like I will defer to you guys who were closer to that time, but I believe he may have said something about that. Like when the Lakers are trying to compete for championships, that Wilt Chamberlain needed to be way more aggressive scoring the ball. But that's the only example I could come up with.
Mm-hmm. Which is fair.
Yeah. Because he started as the guy as Wilt got older, right? Because he heard the narrative that he was greedy and selfish and let me pass, let me not score. And every player, like, again, I'm not picking only a half of basketball, I get it. But like Tatum sees that he's missing, drive to the hoop more, right? What's Tatum's biggest issue? When he starts jacking up threes, that's when his game goes to the crapper. Drive.
He could shoot you in the game. He could also shoot you out too.
Yeah.
He could also shoot you out. And you and me've had this conversation where Jason Tatum, that in between, that still hasn't gotten there yet, right? So prime example would be at the end of the game when he had a 2 dribble pull up, and I'd much rather see him drop that 2 dribble pull up. Don't get me wrong, it was the correct play because Marcus Smart was wide open. But I'm the man. I'm the guy on the crew. And if I'm the guy on the crew, we're winning it or we're losing it with me. And I got a one-on-one situation to win the game or go into overtime. I'm not giving these guys another opportunity to score. I'm getting the ball on the wing, and it's a 2 dribble pull up, getting past him, drop it. Whether the game's over or not, we're good.
So
but I'd much rather see him shoot.
What you're saying is sometimes the best basketball play shouldn't be done. You should just take it in and score if you're the best player?
I don't know. I'm not saying that.
It's kind of sounded what you said.
I'm not saying that. No.
Yo, fellas.
I do notice that there's a certain smirk on somebody's face in here today. And
It's about time.
I did notice that.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and transition. The timing couldn't be more right for us to transition from the 76ers.
What up?
Into the Suns.
What's good?
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
How you doing?
How's everybody doing?
You know what he doing in here?
Doing? How's
You
the
know-
room? I've been here every day. Win, lose, or draw. I pop in for
Yes,
my
you
little
have.
30
Yes, you
I've
have.
been here.
Yes, you have.
So don't do
100%.
that. Of course, the chat probably like, oh, Dell here because KD. No,
100 no, he's been here.
No,
He
I've
was
been
here. He was here when they was down 2-0, and I was like,
I
"Yo,
was
this
there.
series is gonna be quick
Greatest
work."
second option ever.
Devin Booker, Devin Booker gonna break his back.
Oh, I'm here for stuff like that, you know. It's like to hear the narrative of all those things. You know, I'm just here to have a joint time with my close players' choice people. That's all. You know.
Dale, before we
Let's
start, Suns in how many?
Mars, can you tell them the rule?
It is Suns in 6 until they lose one more game. Then it's Suns in 7.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Okay. Just clarifying, reclarifying.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's all it is, man. I just want people to be consistent in their approach of talking basketball, and that is not what I'm seeing. By any
What's
means.
your names?
What do you mean?
The
What
one
that's
over
not
there.
what you mean? That's not what
This
you're saying?
one.
Which one? So I can put them on the full
This
screen.
one right here. This one right here.
Right here. No,
This-
Bobby.
This one?
Oh,
No,
Bobby.
Oh, him too. You know what's crazy? I need to know
I
names
think
in the
this is-
chat. I need to know names in the chat because people be saying crazy stuff. Even like my man Lowe, who I've come to adore, not even love, adore. In the 2015 finals, everybody's saying Bron deserved MVP. A lot of people deserve MVP. LeBron James, he shot 39% from the field.
Correct.
29% from three, 60% from the free throw line. Now, Kevin Durant, who's unanimously known as an efficient player, is shooting 44% from the field, 20% from three, atrocious, and 91% from the free throw line. And it's people like my man Chill saying, yeah, he's gonna go 11 for 34 because he's had bad shooting nights. So because KD has been so consistently efficient, when stuff like this happen, it's so, oh, wow. But Bron should still be, even though his numbers was amazing, 38, 13, and 9, or whatever the case may be. Why y'all not looking at percentage when it comes to those numbers? But for Kevin Durant, who we know to be efficient, it has to be, oh, yeah, he's being carried, this. No one has ever said Kyrie carried LeBron because Bron also was playing good. KD played good last night. I'm still hearing he was carried. It's just, I didn't know that him going to Golden State Warriors made everyone really hate him so much. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Yes, that's the reason. You have something to say?
No. That.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
He set the NBA back a decade.
Wait a minute.
He set the NBA back a
I'm not your
decade.
enemy, guy. I'm not your enemy. I ain't coming to KD like that. But I
heard you said some KD stuff when I left the show. You be saying a lot of KD weird hate. It's weird hate.
What did I say?
It's weird hate. That's what I'm gonna start calling it. Weird hate. The truth ain't weird hate. What is the truth? Tell me the truth.
So tell me what I said. Tell me what I said.
I don't remember. You just on the weird hate list. You're on the weird hate list.
Okay.
Bobby's on the weird hate list. Chill don't hate. What's the name? Don't hate. Fluent hated one time, but he hasn't hated since.
So
when he said he's not a superstar?
When he said he's not a superstar.
Hey, Dell, when he said that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was rough.
Hold up. Because he called me a hater. So I just want to ask you a question, Dale. So anytime I don't disagree with y'all, anytime I disagree with y'all about Kevin Durant, anytime I don't get on my knees for KD, I'm a hater.
No. You could change it.
I got to put knee pads on for Kevin Durant to not be a hater.
You could change the narrative into that, but when you sit there and really sit there and believe and say Devin Booker back is hurting, that's hating. That's hating because you know basketball.
That's facts.
What did I say that was hating though? Because I picked Kevin Durant as the best player on the Suns. I had him as when we did the list for top 25 players in the playoffs.
Listen,
I would
have
got
to
to
watch
Kevin
it over
Durant
to remember your weird hate. But Bobby, you back saying that's facts. How are you being carried? Like how? It just doesn't make sense to me because I've never heard it from you.
You didn't watch Game 3?
Any other player. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one question right now.
Dale, did you watch Game 3?
Did Kevin Durant ever carry Steph Curry?
Dale, did you watch Game 3?
That Booker played great. He played amazing. He did his. Yo, I'm gonna get into this like I've never gotten into this before. But answer this question: did KD ever carry Steph Curry?
I'm sure there was a game or two we could point out to him. He did.
God.
I'm sure.
I would never say he did, but
Man, you would never say that, but I would.
Time out. No. If this is your narrative, he should have carried him because he won Finals MVP. Let's stop there. Now let's go back to Game 3, right? Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, right? They literally could walk into the gym and them two together could score 70 points. Them two, just them two. So a game.
On top of that, whatever
they did. So a game where Devin Booker has 47 and KD have 39, that is not carry. You know what? Listen, Thomas. You know what? That's my point. You know what's getting into? D-Book did what he's supposed to do, what he could do. KD did what he's supposed to do. Last night, if you walked in here and say Landry Shamet carried them, I would say yes. You know why? Because it's not his job to score 19 points. That's not expected. It's expected for D-Book because he's capable of to have a 40 clip. So if you come in here and say the Suns won because Landry Shamet 19 points, I would agree with you.
That's his basketball, though. That's his basketball, though, Dale. For me, by me saying that, like, oh, Landry Shamet came through for the clutch for them. That's me hating on Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. I think not. I think that's me. That's just me pointing out what happened.
No.
I didn't say he carried him. I just said thank God for Landry Shamet.
19. Yeah, if you say Landry Shamet 19 points was a big reason they won this, that, and third, it could be like he closed them out down the stretch making shots. I'd be like, cool, because you're not expected. The bench, of course, supposed to do their job, but you're not expecting Landry Shamet to have 19 points. No, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker walks into the game. Both could be possibly 30-30 a night together.
Look, Dale, my thing is it's a basketball team. They all got to contribute. But you can't just call me a hater just because I'm not big enough everything Kevin Durant does.
No,
I'm just I do. You're right. I got.
You can't say
I got a dark cloud over KD just because what he did at Golden State. You're right. I do. That's the fact. You
can't say it's a basketball team and then follow that up by saying someone got carried.
Why not?
That makes no sense. Because it's a basketball team, like you just said.
It's a basketball team. Everybody got a job. And Devin Booker's job is to carry this big ass. You know what? I'm not gonna put this back because you're doing this on purpose. No, stop. You trying to get me to say something I don't mean. All I'm saying is if you saw Game 3, you would. I believe that Game 3, Devin Booker carried the squad. In Game 3, Devin Booker carried the squad, bro. I believe that.
Yo, so I just want to ask.
Do y'all not believe that? Did y'all not see what I saw in Game 3?
Where is Ticket?
I don't know.
Get him here. No, get Ticket here. I need to talk to Ticket. Because all the time I'm hearing every time, oh yeah, he got to run to a super team. Ticket, you agree with that too, right? Okay, yes. Good. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, you didn't see what happened. You didn't see what happened last year?
Time out.
Wait.
Time out. Let me ask you a question. Was the Suns a super team before Kevin Durant got there?
No. I wouldn't call him a super team.
So why they super team now?
Wait. They're not. Super team isn't the right term for me. You said super team. I don't think he has to run the super teams. I think he has to run to the best team available. He has to go to a team where it's already set up. They already got a top guy, and he doesn't have to have the burden. He has to go to a team where he doesn't have to be the top guy. I thought he was going to go to Boston because that's KD's MO. They beat his ass. Now he runs over there. You're right. He should have went to Boston because that would be just some KD shit to do.
Right. But
my thing is this. I don't think he has to run to a super team per se, but he does tend to try to go to the best team, the team that just won 64 games in the time before that.
I've said this before. So if Kevin Durant had went to the Miami Heat, people would have been calling them a powerhouse in the East. Or a super team.
They look like powerhouse teams to me. You see what they're doing right now?
Yeah.
But that's my point. It's because of him.
Because Kevin Durant's not even there. They're a powerhouse without him. So if they losing 6, I wouldn't be surprised if KD does.
Is Miami a super team? Is Miami a super team right now?
Hold on a second, Del. Are you trying to spin a narrative that they become a super team because KD joins them? Well, yeah. That's the whole point. It's that you have a collection of stars and another one joins them.
That's not the narrative. That's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, the narrative is that KD joins super teams. How can he join a super team if they're only a super team with KD on them? That's the point Del was making.
I didn't say that he joined super teams.
That's the point Del was making. Whether or not you agree or disagree, I'm just saying that's what he's saying.
Right. Which is true.
Even with KD,
I don't think they're a super team at all. It sounds like what Del is saying is that they're only a super team or considered a super team because KD joins. They're not a
That's
super
a fact.
team beforehand.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what he's
So
saying.
listen,
I was never
listen.
saying they were a super team.
That's a fact. Listen, the
whole point.
The 73-9 Warriors team, no one was calling them a super team. Not a soul.
They were
Not a
73-9.
But
Dell,
Dell,
They were 73-9.
wait a minute, Dell. But when he get, if I'm not mistaken, Dell, when he gets on that crew, right? When he gets on that crew, as good as they already are, he makes them. He makes them even better. You already got all pros.
He's a habitual.
You've already got all pros on there, all league defenders on there, and the league MVP on the crew already.
Let me ask
you already have that. And then when KD,
so Chris Bosh joins Dwayne Wade in Miami, is that a super team? No, it's not a super team until LeBron joins. So any of these super teams, of course,
that
you
don't count. Listen, you know why that don't count differently? Because they joined together. That's one. They knew what they were creating. Just like KD.
Yes,
KD knew he was creating a super team. But we're not saying he.
Would you agree with that, Dale?
Y'all saying that's.
Dale, would you agree that KD is a habitual fade ducker?
I don't know what that means. Can you speak?
He ain't with the drama. That's basically what he's saying.
Would you agree that KD's ducking fades?
No, I would never agree with that.
Would you say
you know what's so sad about all of this too? As well, I want to get you off the ticket because he loves Giannis the most. When Kevin Durant was playing by himself in Brooklyn against the Milwaukee Bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was giving KD praises. Oh, Lowe's a part of this too. And I said this to Lowe and Ticket. But he was just killing against that Bucks team. Low words, but he lost. He's lost the 7th time in a row to Giannis or some dumb shit like that. This is what he was saying, but they lost. Whatever the case may be. No matter how he played this in the third. But if I sit here today and try to compare playoff success of Jimmy Butler versus Giannis in the playoffs, who would Lowe say is better? He would still say Giannis is better. But going on for his logic, when he used the KD and Giannis, because Giannis beat him in the playoffs logic, he should automatically be picking Jimmy Butler. So this is the consistency
we can't talk for him, but I think the narrative.
This is the consistency I don't like with the logic. Because if Kevin Durant would have got swept this year, he still would have been the best player in the world.
I think is a little KD centric, and it works for a bunch of other guys. If Giannis joined the Suns right now, they would have called that a super team. If LeBron joined the Suns, they probably would have done the same thing. If LeBron would have joined the Warriors instead of KD, they would have called it a super team. Like there's four or five guys in the league that if they go to a certain teams, they're going to call it that. I hate that. I think there are no super teams, so I'm the wrong guy to ask. I just don't like that you're making it seem like it's only one guy that creates them. It's any guy that goes to that.
That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing is he's literally, because of the Warriors move, he's literally the only one that gets continued slack for it. That's what I'm saying.
Because it was such a
that's it.
That
That's
move
all
was
I'm saying.
crazy though.
You know why
that
he
move was
gets
just
slack?
so crazy though. Yeah.
Do you know why he gets slack?
No, you can tell me because I don't understand it.
Because he joined the 73-9 Warriors that beat him the year before. That's it. That's the reason he gets slack. Because he did that.
Reason, bro.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not his game.
If
not
he
anything else. And the burners.
Slack.
Yeah.
It is become narrative. It is become narrative because of that.
No, don't do that, Dale. It wasn't just a team that lost in the finals. No, that's not why.
They weren't
Chill, let me ask you a question. If KD never goes there, do that Warriors team ever beat Bron?
No, they don't. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that he threw a monkey wrench in the whole landscape of the league when he did that. He threw a monkey wrench in it. He changed legacies when he did that.
He changed LeBron's legacy. That's what it is. He changed LeBron.
Not just his. Whoa. Not just his. I don't think we're talking about Steph Curry the way we talk about him today. If KD don't jump on that unit.
But I think they still
because Steph has extra finals.
He changed. Hold on. He did also change another legacy that matters more to him than anybody else, his own. Because if he doesn't win any titles, we're having conversations about KD.
Hey, Dale, man, salute to you, my brother. I'm impressed with KD, even though the percentages haven't been there. The will has been there. The desire has been there. The refusal to quit has been there. And so I respect that about KD. He could have easily just folded in this situation, and he didn't. His shot wasn't going, and he played hard. And you got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? He played hard. He trying to like fight through the struggles of shooting. Everything ain't coming as effective as it always has come for KD as he's getting older, but he fighting through it. And he doing something I ain't think he could do. I ain't think they could win again like that. And so if they win this series, to me, it'll be crazy because they really would have to go on a run like Kobe and Shaq. And I mean, him and Book just take over the entire series. But I will say this, they're benefiting from Chris Paul being hurt because now they're able to play at a different pace. And I said that before, the pace that they're able to play at, the point guard able to just push the ball, get them up the court and get into their offense. I think that has helped them out tremendously because now without CP3 walking the ball down the court, waiting to get us in our offense, running a pick and roll, KD and those guys waiting to get the ball. I think the fact that the other boy Payne is pushing the rock, getting them past half court, moving the ball, and now with CP3 out, is forced Monty to go to the bench. Now you see Landry Shamet, man, hitting threes. Now you see Terrence Ross out here getting time, hitting shots. Now you see more of even Landale out here playing well. So now it's more incorporated of a team effort versus when it was CP3 out there. He kind of ate a lot of minutes, and Monty didn't trust nobody else. Now Monty has to use these other guys because Landry Shamet was big the other night. All the threes he hit, that was big the other night. That helped kind of keep them off of KD.
I'll be right back.
And what you calling them ass. So yeah, man, I respect what I'm seeing from KD right now. He fighting for it in this series right here. He fighting for it.
Yo, fellas, I do want to continue to talk about before we go much further down the rabbit hole. I do want to talk about this last game and how the Suns were able to tie the series. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant both had 36. They both did their job in carrying the load. Jokic also, want to talk about him too. He had 53 points, 11 rebounds, or 11 assists. So let's actually talk about Game 4 and how we felt about that.
Yeah, that's literally what I was about to get into. I was about to say this is the problem with Kevin Durant. He sucks all the energy out of other things that's happened that was great, like Devin Booker's performance. Everyone's turned a blind eye to how Devin Booker's been playing these last 4, 5, 6, the entire playoffs it seemed. Devin Booker was going crazy last night. I mean, playing at a level that honestly I ain't seen him play since they went on the finals run. Like it was remnants of him literally playing that same way he played in 2021, where it was like, yo, this is the Devin Booker that we were hoping for when we said his stats were empty when he was by himself. He's playing like that guy. So Devin Booker played amazing. Landry Shamet, not gonna lie, great game. I will say Jamal Murray was having his way with him on defense. That's something I did notice, and they might not want that. They might not like that matchup long term because Jamal Murray was putting him on the post and was going to work. I like what I'm seeing from Jamal Murray. He's looking like he's getting his legs back under him. I heard somebody say he's definitely better than he was in 2020. When I heard that, I was like, I don't know. But watching him play, he's definitely more poised. He's more experienced. He got that. The Suns are proving me wrong. I thought they weren't going to be deep enough, and their bench guys wasn't going to be able to produce and keep up with the Suns' depth. I don't know who Jake Lindell.
Australian dude. Tonight.
Don't know who he is.
He can play.
Only seen him on 2K. Promise you didn't know he was like that, but he got heart. Give it to him. Wasn't like he was out there going crazy with the buckets, but he was doing what they needed from a center because Ayton is not that guy. Win, lose, or draw this year, they need to move off of Ayton. I don't like the energy. I don't like the game with this team, especially with KD being here now. This is a total different team than what you had when you originally had Ayton and these guys in that finals push. You got to get him out of there. He's just not that guy. Crazy, he was the number 1 pick. I was screaming Luka, but it's cool. But yeah, DeAndre Ayton, he's not fitting around here no more. Get him out of here. Chris Paul, I hope this is your last year. He got to get up out of here. This team, I'm not going to say they're better without him. They just, other guys rise to the occasion, and they just need a different look.
They can't move off him, Donald. Too much money. Contract is worth too much next year. I don't think anybody's going to take that contract. I don't think anybody's taking that contract.
I said the same thing with Russell Westbrook's contract, and someone took it.
That's true. That's true, too.
So you never know. You never know who needs a point guard in the NBA. You never know who needs a guy on their team. That's all. Unless you're in the front office. I gave up.
Chris Paul's contract was radioactive.
But you got to also remember, Donald, Chris Paul, look at where he's at with his age, bro, compared to where Russell Westbrook is. Like, Russell Westbrook can at least from what we've seen, at least in this playoffs, I'm not going to they still lost the series, but he still look like he's got some meaningful left in the tank. I don't know if people could say the same thing about Chris Paul. And the problem is, I feel like Chris Paul might be in one of those situations next year where he's in like an Iguodala, Udonis Haslem role, where he's getting $15 million to be a glorified mentor on the bench. Because, I mean, this team looks like, to me, they look a little bit more well-oiled without him on the floor.
How are you saying maybe? Like, guys, you see it. It's right there in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, he's running. Yes. I'll commit.
Yeah, we've never had this problem in the past. We've never had this problem in the past with guys who are clearly washed. We've never had this problem in the past saying, this dude is over. And it's okay to say this dude is over, right? So when you look at Chris Paul, I mean, it's okay to say that he's over. But 100%. when I look at this Denver team, if the last time, I can't remember any time when your two best players shot a combined 57% from the floor as a duo, right? So when you got a guy like Joker shooting 30 shots and shooting over 60% from the floor and getting 53 points, right? And Jamal Murray basically doing the same thing, he was giving Shamet everything Shamet was looking for. But the difference is that Shamet made shots late. See, we'll live with you making. We'll live with you making shots in the first quarter, in the second quarter. See that bucket, that basket, it shrinks in the third and the fourth quarter. Guys don't want to look at it because the stakes go higher. Shamet knowing that, I'm out here to make shots. The difference in that game last night was Michael Porter Jr. That's where the buckets didn't come from. Not only that, from their bench, they got 40 points from their bench last night. 40 points from their bench, and why I'm not understanding Mike Malone not digging deeper into his bench. Why is Thomas Bryant not playing? Why is Reggie Jackson? Why is Reggie Jackson not playing? Why are these guys not in the rotation?
Mars TV, man.
Because Denver's bench isn't good. It hasn't been good all year.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing I was saying about the Suns.
They're
both bad. They're both bad.
That's where I was going. But with that being said, the difference in that though, Mars, is how Monty Williams is using TJ Warren, how he's using Terrence Ross, how he's using Landale. These dudes ain't playing 30 minutes coming off the bench and jacking up shots. He's putting Shamet in a position where Shamet could be successful. Now, don't get me wrong, Moss. The game plan at the end of the day was, if we're gonna lose with Shamet making shots. We're gonna lose with that. And we'll tip our hat to Shamet if he makes shots. That's part of it. But we got to at least find out. We can't have a 6-7 man rotation in the playoffs and expect to just keep going like this.
But like,
I don't know if you put
Thomas Bryant coming in for Jokic for 6 minutes a game is just no. They run Aaron Gordon at the small ball 5, and I think that's perfectly fine because Thomas Bryant should not be playing playoff minutes. Reggie Jackson, no. Like I'd much rather have him.
I think Reggie Jackson could play.
Reggie Jackson's like, I don't want to say in the Lou Williams mode. Like, he's much worse, but that's what he is. He's a microwave scorer off the bench who is egregious defensively. And when it comes to his playmaking ability, it's not like he's focused on that. It's like he'll pass if he can't get a shot off. And that's just like, that's not feasible. Like, the only guys that, like, if you look at Denver's like bench of guys who don't play, like DeAndre Jordan shouldn't touch the floor. Ish Smith, no. Like, the only guy who maybe the only guy who maybe should touch the floor is Vlatko Chancha, and I don't even think he should touch the floor. Well, they just don't have a good bench, and they haven't had a good bench all year. They were tricking everyone in the first round.
Well, there's a reason why you signed Reggie Jackson. There's a reason why you traded for Reggie Jackson. Right? You traded for Reggie Jackson, not just for vet leadership. You traded for him to have him in your rotation. Now, you just mentioned, Mars, if he can't get a shot off, he passes. Well, Reggie Jackson is smart enough because he did start at the lead guard on a playoff team. He is smart enough that he can make the correct pass. He is smart enough that he can make correct plays. He won't be a deterrent. I don't think that he'll be a minus when he's out there, even if he gives you a solid 10 minutes, even if he gives you a solid 15 minutes. I do think that he can give you some quality minutes when he's on the floor, as opposed to just having him sit there and you're sticking with this 8-man rotation when they're clearly outmatching you. Again, Mars, we're talking about 40 points from Phoenix's bench last night. 40.
That's never going to happen again. Like, both of these teams' benches are so bad that I think it's pretty safe to assume that Landry Shamet doesn't make every wide open corner free he gets given. Terrence Ross made a couple big shots. TJ Warren made a few. They're not going to get that many points from their bench again. Like, do I think the Suns bench has been playing pretty well? Like, Landale is someone I thought should not touch the floor, and I was egregiously wrong. He's been very good for them. But do I think they're going to give them 40 off the bench again? No, not even close. I think they'll be lucky to get half that.
They don't have to. Well, they can get 20 more, but they don't have to get 40 though. My thing is, as a coach, and that's what I was saying about Monty Williams last week. as a coach, you have to find a way, especially at this level. You're supposed to be of the best coaches in the world. You have to find a way to coach through your guys' deficiencies. If this guy can't do this, you got to run other sets. You have to do something to put them in a position to contribute some way. You have to play your guys, bro. Like I'm not as good as you and Chilltown, Mars, and Fluent, and you guys that can go back to 07 and be like, you remember when this guy did this and did that? But I can't say, even in 06, like with the Celtics, they weren't going to win those finals if some of their bench players ain't come and do what they had to do.
Yeah,
yeah. No way. You got to give your guys a chance to make big shots. Landry Shamet had an opportunity last night and he took it. So no, they probably won't get 40 again. You're right, but you have to give them that opportunity. You got to put them in a position to help contribute, because you can't depend on Devin Booker and KD to do everything. You can't depend on Jokic and Jamal to do everything. Somebody got to come and give me a quick 7 points in the fourth quarter. Somebody got to come and give me a quick three. Thomas Bryant can come in at the end of in the middle of the second quarter, give Jokic a rest, and give me 6 points, 4 rebounds. That's great for you, Thomas Bryant. That is great. I don't need you to come here and give me 18 and 12, but 6 points, 4 rebounds in the first and second quarter. Bam, that's what I needed from you. So,
not only that, Mars, and not only that, Mars, I mean, to reference what Big Ox was just talking about in 08 with that Celtic team. I mean, Doc was digging in his bench. He had Sam Cassell in his rotation and PJ Brown, guys like that were giving him quality. Leon Poe, giving him quality minutes. You got guys on that bench. That bench can't be that bad where I'm only going to 8 guys. I'm only going to 8 guys because that's what this series looks like. Well, obviously, what's going on right now, 8 guys aren't enough. I got to dig deeper into this bench. 8 guys aren't enough.
I'd agree. I would agree with you if Michael Malone was the type of coach who would actually play his starter. Like if you had a lineup of Jokic, Jamal Murray, MPJ, and then you just put out like Reggie Jackson and KCP, I'm like, okay, maybe that's all right. But Michael Malone is a coach who would just take out 4 of his starters, leave Jamal Murray in there, and then put 4 bench guys.
Don't do that. Don't do
now,
that.
I can't. You can't dig into your bench with that type of lineup because then you're just playing 4 bench guys at a time. If Michael Malone was someone who just played 3 starters, 2 bench guys, yeah, maybe you can make an argument for Thomas Bryant being out there with the rest of the starters instead of Jokic. Maybe that's fine. But he doesn't do that. He runs 1 starter, 4 bench lineups, or he'll go all bench lineups. You can't afford to do that with this Denver Nuggets team. So I'm just thinking, as Michael Malone, knowing how he runs his rotations, he can't go deeper in his bench because he's already maximizing his bench lineups by just running 4 bench guys and 1 starter, or 3 bench guys and 2 starters. Like he doesn't stagger his lineup. So
that's what I was about to mention, Mars. So maybe he's got to change up his rotation, like you just mentioned.
I've said that the whole year, but he hasn't done it over 82 games.
He's got to change up his rotations. I can't yank 4 starters and go with 4 bench guys. No, I can't do that. That's not going to work.
That's what he's been doing all year.
Jay, you was about to say something, Jay. You was about to say something.
No, all I was going to say was I think the biggest thing about this series that I feel like none of us have talked about up here is outside of like the scoring from Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, I've really been more impressed with their playmaking, rebounding, and defense as well. I think if you think about it, I said on my channel that in order for Kevin Durant and Book to get through this series, they will probably have to combine and score for about 80 to 80 plus to combine. But not only do they need that 80, somebody needs outside. I personally think that's what they need. I mean, if you look at the game, they're going high.
That's 30, what it is, though. That's what it is.
40. They're hitting 40. But I think the biggest addition to not only are they combining for the 40, Kevin Durant in game three was 1 rebound and 2 assists away from a triple double. In game 4, Devin Booker has 12 assists. They're doing those other things, getting guys involved. And I think both of those dudes, with how great and prolific of scorers they are, when they're doing things like playmaking and rebound and doing those small things to just do whatever it takes to win, I think they become highly more dangerous. And, everybody wants to say Book is not getting his flowers. I'm going to give Book his flowers, but I really think Kevin Durant coming on his team has been great because at some point, most teams, you got to throw a double at somebody. And you're always going to throw that double at KD before you throw that Book. And when you put Book on this island, you're asking for trouble because he's a great perimeter scorer. So he's getting these moments where he's one-on-one with somebody. I'm going to take that matchup with Devin Booker, and he's just completely been capitalized. I mean, last game, he's only missed 4 shots. This last game, he missed 4. The other game, he only missed 5. Like, he's been ridiculous. And I think the way they've been doing everything together with the rebounding, assisting, KD with his blocks, I think it's been very impressive.
All right, fellas. We're going to go ahead and transition into a couple super chats. Before we do that, I do want to say that this show is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. If you look at the top of the chat, it's pinned right there. Just look right there. It's pinned right there. You can see it. If you click the link, it will send you there to their app. Download the app. Type in the panel as your promo code, and you will be matched up to $100. If you put in 50, we'll match your 50. On top of that, DM the Player's Choice account on Instagram once you download your account, and we will be doing giveaways. So the first person that DMs the Player's Choice Instagram, shows us your account, we'll send you something. Be on the lookout for that. All right, let's go ahead and get into some of these super chats.
Ron, tell them it's going to be my autograph basketball.
That's what it is. Hey, it's a surprise every day. You never know what's gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get.
You know they want that.
I'm a double your money. I'm gonna give you $3. I'm gonna double your money.
Big ox in the house.
My man fluid.
Is Jokic getting suspended?
What for pushing?
I hope not.
Shouldn't have even gotten a technical.
He shouldn't. Yeah, facts. He really shouldn't.
I mean, they suspended DeJounte Murray for that little nudge on the ref.
In fact,
ref, that's someone involved in the game.
Well, just so you know, J-Rob, just so you know,
the owner of the team.
Just so you know, J-Rob,
he's sitting in the crowd just like everyone else.
I'm just saying, hey, look. I'm just saying. I've seen situations where guys do things and get suspended, even if it's a light nudge or whatever. I've seen it 1,000 times. So I'm just saying, if Jokic, I don't want to get suspended, but I really feel like, how do you not?
Just so you know,
off the history.
If that's me sitting in the front row and I grab the ball and hold on to it, number one, I'm getting ushered out the door. I'm not going to be able to sit there for the rest of that game. I'm going to get ushered out the door. So what happened right there? He involved himself in the game. Once again, these guys are the show. You involved yourself in the game. Now, if you're going to involve yourself in the game, you got to expect some stuff to come with it. Like what just happened. So
and he's a fool for that. Don't get me wrong. I think he's an absolute fool for involving himself. I'm not I'm not saying what Jokic did was wrong. I just know how they be doing in the NBA. Like somebody gonna overreact. We want this investigated. We want this, that, and the third. Like I know how they be. So
nah, man. After I seen him flop, I knew he is in. He's locked in.
Hands up.
Jokic just did one of these. Hands up. I already knew what it was. He's not about to press no issue, man. He's enjoying the series.
He already put a statement out. He said he don't want to see Embiid. He said he don't want to see Joker suspended. That has nothing to do with it. We'll focus on Game 5 win. He said, nah. He already put a statement out. So I'm sorry, Ron.
But my bad, Ron.
All right, let's do it. Let's get to these super chats. Lab Honor said Ticket turned off the TV when Smart hit the 3.
I knew that was late. I think everyone knew that was late.
Alan R said better defender, AD or
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm. Y'all be trying to put that crazy defender on Giannis, and it's not like that.
He has a defensive player of the year, man. You gotta think about it. He has defensive player of the year.
Mm-hmm. So he is elite as a defender, 100%. But I think Anthony Davis is better.
Yeah, we need to stop with picking one person over the other doesn't make the other person garbage.
No, it does not. No, it doesn't.
Just wonder that I pick player B. Oh, you're saying player A sucks? No,
we're not saying that at all. No, you still playing at a high level. You're still playing at a high level.
Right. Mars does that all the time.
All right, fellas, moving along. Wayne Go Crazy said Julius Randle still too much for Bam.
I don't know how much I have to be right.
Let me turn the New York hat around.
I don't know how much I have to be right about one player before everyone realizes I was right about the player. Like I don't know how much you have to see from this guy to realize he's
all about the motor.
How do you go 25 in what 12 in the regular season, something like that, 25 in like 9, and then you're completely and utterly ineffective in the playoffs?
I tried to tell everyone that was going to happen. He has the same flaws he had 2 years ago. He still can't go right. He still takes the worst shots in NBA history, and he can't pass with his right hand. So if you just force him that way, he gets forced and starts throwing the ball at people. Like he doesn't know what he's doing. But you have to tell people all these issues.
I can't believe you're asking that question because you know how you do that. Because in the regular season, there's very little defense. The teams don't scout as much as they do in the playoffs. and you get away with playing a faster style. Yes,
no, Tone, no.
You pick the best players and you say, what is their strengths or what are their weaknesses? Well, let's try to diminish their strengths, make them go to their weaknesses. And with Julius Randle, it's just a lot easier to do because he's got so many.
And if that's true, then Tone, Jimmy Butler doesn't have a huge bag, so we should easily be able to scout him because he don't do a lot. Meanwhile, we get him in the playoffs and he look like Air Jordan.
He is his son, but I don't know. He's an anomaly. He's an exception. He's whatever. But it's like just go look at the stats. How many players increase in the playoffs and how many decrease? It's like 90% decrease and 10% increase.
That's what separates the good players from the great players. Kind of like, and I got roasted for this. Julius Randle, even though he wasn't that good, kind of remind me of Peyton Manning in the postseason. That's kind of who you remind me of.
Whoa! In the beginning.
I don't know how bad that comparison is. I'm pretty sure Peyton Manning's considered like one of the best ever, you know.
Yeah, but he's under investigation though. If you really look at his playoff career, he's under investigation, bro. He gets.
No, but the investigation for Julius Randle was concluded like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Just so you know, even made the playoffs.
Just so you know, Mars. Just so you know, Mars. Julius Randle might be under arrest, but But Peyton Manning is definitely coming down to the station for questioning. 100%.
More like Tony Romo or like Phillip Rivers, though.
Yeah, he's definitely coming down to the station for questioning. We need to talk to you. 100. Can you explain this right here?
They're not putting him in the car. They saying, sir, you can come down with your.
Yeah, we need to come. We need to talk. We have an investigation and we need to talk to you.
He's never been detained.
No, not under arrest. Not under arrest, but you need to really help questions. Yeah, we really help our investigation if you came downtown and answer some questions for it.
He don't even gotta go. His lawyer can come for him. Y'all chill with Peyton, man. Hey, real quick though, Fluent, because you was just saying, him about his deficiencies, you and Morris. Why? Like, why can't you do anything with your right hand? Like,
I wish I knew why he can't. Maybe it's because the regular season he's fine. He doesn't think he needs to work on it. I know
why. It's because he doesn't work on it. If you're good enough, as Julius Randle is good enough, the way he is, why is he working? He's not working. There's certain guys that work and get better. There's other ones that don't. He's like, I'm good.
The only time the ball touches right hand is to go back to the left hand. That's it.
Like a hot potato.
That's the only time the ball touches the right hand is to go back to the left hand.
Julius Randle averages more shot attempts than points.
Julius Randle is one of those throwback players who only has one hand. You got
to remember too. You're talking about left-handed players. Left-handed players are more difficult to cover, and because they're more difficult to cover, they stay left-hand dominant, so they don't really go the other way because they unorthodox. You left-handed. Like, how am I supposed to deal with you? You left-handed. So that's why you see guys like Ginobili, James Harden, Chris Bosh. A lot of left-handed players are left-hand dominant, and they're really effective. Problem with you? Well, yeah.
Keep D'Lo out of this.
But D'Lo, boy, I saw D'Lo.
Yeah, he's been playing good.
D'Lo got bad with him.
He's left-hand dominant though. He is. He's super left-hand dominant with some of his
He hit Steph Curry with that stutter in and out. In transition, I was like, "Ooh, what is that?"
Domo was going crazy those first few minutes when
like, yo, check him out.
Yeah, he's shaking the playoff fraud allegations right now. He's shaking.
Fellas,
he is.
Fellas, I must segue because we are talking about Julius Randle, and they have a game coming up soon. So
if you take the higher, that's on you.
I want to play a little bit with y'all. Let's have some fun.
Whoa.
Let's have some
fun. Take the lower.
Take the higher.
Julius Randle at 23.5.
He's gonna get 26.
Higher.
Yeah, he's gonna get 26. Facts.
I can see
4 assists. Higher.
Facts.
9 rebounds.
You might want to take the lower on that one.
Yeah,
lower.
I don't know if he's getting that 4 assists either.
So if he goes,
he's getting that 4 assists.
So if he goes 25, let's say 7 and 9, I think they win.
Yeah, what is Jalen Brunson gonna have on his stat sheet?
I think they win if he doesn't play.
Jalen Brunson is what matters. Chill. Like to me, Jalen Brunson's our best player, so he has to come along. Because Julius Randle have a stat line, we can still lose by 20.
Why keep saying our and we?
He a Knicks guy.
Yeah, I'm a Knicks guy. I've been a Knicks fan my whole life. I know I rock with Bron. I rock with Bron. And if y'all want to call me a meat rider or whatever, Bron sexual, hop off these.
No, you're a logical basketball fan, bro.
I believe Julius Randle is the only player in NBA history who's never lost a playoff game where he played well. So there you go.
All right, and as you guys can see, my previous Anthony Davis contest is up here, along with Julius Randle's stats as well. Now, as you can see, adding Julius Randle on here has increased the payout. We'll return back to this fairly soon. I'm going to add something else onto it later in the show.
Can I ask you a question about this? Just keep it up on screen. What if you put Julius Randle as higher? Does it increase your payout significantly, or does it the same? Do the odds change? Okay.
No, it's the same. It's just
hold on. Euro, go to higher points.
Mars,
we're in the same range.
He's 1-0 in playoff games where he's played well.
1-0. He's undefeated.
Undefeated.
Hey, I'm a firm believer in history, Mars. If I did something once, odds are I can do it again.
So until he shows up, he might end his career 1-0, and he'll still be the only player who's never lost a playoff game where he played well. It's not empty stats.
It's not empty. Impact is felt.
What's that say?
We're just going to ignore all the games that he played poorly. Is that what we're doing?
When he plays well, the Knicks don't lose in the playoffs.
Exactly. When he played well that one time.
Exactly, and they won. Even though the other team's best player wasn't there, but who cares?
Hey, Mars, I say everything that happens once will not happen again. Everything that happens twice will surely happen a third time. I don't think Julius Randle's coming with another one, bro. He's got too many.
You guys gonna keep hating, man. Julius Randle's that guy.
All right, we're gonna keep moving on the super chat
series, bro. It's about to be 4-1. Getting smoked.
Donovan Samuel said, based on what I saw this weekend, Booker needs to be moved to 1 on that list. Booker has been the most consistent thus far. How we feel about this?
I agree.
Jimmy's still number 1.
Yes, he's been the most consistent player performer.
He's been the most consistent. Yeah.
He hasn't missed a game either. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Devin Booker should definitely be number 2, though.
Yeah, Anthony Davis number 2.
Yeah, had Anthony Davis. Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, Showtime.
All we need is 2 back-to-back games from AD.
Anthony Davis is okay on 2. Anthony Davis is okay at the number 2 on games 1, 3, 5, and 7, but he should be off the list on games 2, 4, and 6. That's the problem with Anthony Davis.
Odd games only.
Yeah,
I think AD should be top 5, just not number 2.
Well, you should put him where he's comfortable. Put him at an odd number. So put him at like
number 5 is fine.
5. Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5's good.
5, 7, 3.
Child Please 0 said best duo in the playoffs is KD and Booker.
You basing that solely on the fact that they buckets. That's it. That's all you basing that on. You ain't basing that on nothing else.
It's Julius Randle on the bench.
Yo, Mars.
Wow.
It's just true.
See that what you just had up there? What you just had up there. That kind of that logic right there is what makes me nuts.
Which one?
This right here makes me nuts right here. Is Devin
John
Booker?
Vaughn.
Oh my God.
Said is Devin Booker top 10 in the NBA right now?
Why would he be top 10 in the NBA right now? Why wasn't he top 10 in the NBA before the season started? Why wasn't he top 10 in the NBA in February?
I know it's burning your blood, but I think the question is, like, is he playing at a top 10 level right now? I think is the question.
Well, first of all, before the season started, I thought you could make a case that Devin Booker was a top 10 player. I thought before the season started, if he wasn't a 10, he was right outside of it, fringe. So the fact that he's top 10 right now, the fact that he's playing well in the playoffs, I mean, there's still stuff that needs to be done. Plus, I don't think you get into the top 10 just by what you did in a couple of games in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the reason why I feel like that, Mars, is because I still stand on the logic that what you do in the regular season creates the legend. What you do in the postseason elevates the legend.
What have we been talking about Jimmy Butler for the last 2 weeks?
And here's the thing: we're talking about a Jimmy Butler who's been an All-Pro. We're talking about a Jimmy Butler who's been
Devin
an
Booker was
defender.
first team last year.
Right. Which goes back to my original point that we're talking about a guy who, if he's not a top 10 player before the season starts, he has to at least be in the conversation.
Yeah, I get behind
So
that.
if he was in the conversation, and by your admission he was to you, how he's playing right now in the playoffs, would that not put him in the top 10 for you?
Well, it depends on who was in front of him. It depends on who jumps in front of him. I just don't like the logic that a guy who now, before the season starts, let's say he's 12, and a guy who was 9, okay, these guys flip-flop because the playoffs, not because you was terrible in the playoffs, because this guy was good in the playoffs, but you flip-flop because you got this guy over him.
What about Damian Lillard and Luka Doncic, who didn't make the playoffs? Does he get to jump over those guys?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't.
Okay.
So chill. If somebody elevates their play, let's just say DeAndre Ayton. Matter of fact, Bam Adebayo. Let's say Bam Adebayo all of a sudden just starts going crazy, and let's say he elevates his play and he becomes a 25-10 guy from here on, and they run the table. Does he not move further up on your list? Does he not move past guys like DeAndre Ayton, maybe even a Sabonis, guys like that?
I think we have to start having a conversation about it.
But you just don't jump to it, right? You don't make an abrupt decision.
That's my only issue. It's like we've seen Devin Booker do what Devin Booker's doing, and I don't want to take anything away from him. Devin Booker is so good. Number one, in transition. Number two, at getting to his spots. And if you watch Devin Booker does a great job in playing the way he knows how to play. He doesn't take any back. The shots that Devin Booker shoots, he shoots where he knows he's going to score. He gets what he knows is going to be good. He knows that, but he's been playing like that. So if you feel like that,
I agree, Chill.
So if you feel like that about him, you should feel like this shouldn't change that. What's going on right now should not change that.
Couple things though, Chill. You can't deny that Devin Booker has elevated his level of play. That's undeniable. He's shooting the piss out the ball. His percentages are through the roof. 100%. And I mean, obviously, we're up here kind of in a roundabout way saying he's carrying KD. I don't think nobody actually believes that, but he is playing the best on that team. Outside of Jimmy, he's playing the best in the playoffs. So that doesn't give you incentive to further think that he might be better than you may have thought he was before the playoffs or at the beginning of the season?
Well, once again, we already talking about a dude who was a first-team All-Pro last year, and he's doing what he's doing now. Had he not missed those 25 games in 2 months this season, we'd still be talking about him the way we talked about him last year, and he probably would still be a top 10 player, undeniable. Right. But the fact that he missed that time, he kind of got moved out. But he still was doing when he was healthy. What he doing now, he's elevated that, but he still was doing some of this. I mean, we did see 50 games from him. I can't leave that part out. He was doing that.
But then, all right, so your main thing is obviously not making a decision just based on, okay, this dude just went for 40 and 15. So now, kind of like the James Harden thing. So now all of a sudden he's the best player now because he had 2 40-point games.
Right.
But here's what I'm saying though. Devin Booker has been consistent in what he's been doing. This isn't something that just happened this year. Right. So now, with how many years do you have to put in to now all of a sudden start getting your credit for top 10, one of the best guards in the league? When does that come into play?
I think it should come into play now, Ron. I mean, ultimately, I think it all started in the bubble when they went undefeated, and Devin Booker just kind of kept that ship going ever since. I mean, I feel like now he earned his respect. I mean, you know, people may knock him for losing in the finals to Giannis, but ultimately, I think he deserves his flowers because I do think he impact winning. I think he does a lot of great things, and I agree with you. I think he's a top 10 player in this league right now. You gotta put some respect on what this kid has been doing because he's been phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. He needs his flowers. Like, I'd rather take Devin Booker.
Donovan Mitchell allegations. For sure.
He did beat those allegations.
He did.
Whooping those allegations.
We can end that conversation.
I'm gonna go a step further, Mars, and say I personally feel like I think I would take Devin Booker over Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
I said this last year. Y'all crucified me.
I agree with Jaylen
nails
Brown.
Through my wrist. Y'all put nails through my feet.
I'm taking him over Jaylen Brown.
Crucified me.
I think I'm at a point now where I can strongly say I'm going to take Devin Booker over Jason Tatum right now. Just because I've seen it
last summer.
I'm seeing it consistently. To me, I feel like I'm seeing it in and out. So year in, year out. So I'm feeling it. I'm feeling Devin Booker and what he's been doing. People got to respect. Like, he's on the team with Kevin Durant, and he's the best guy on the floor. And it's not close. It's not close. He might need to play point guard for them for real. He needs to play the one.
I said that as well.
He needs to play the one. God damn it.
Oh yeah, his playmaking is definitely surprised me.
Yeah,
hey,
like
with this being said, though, this is kind of
what
going to what you
was
were saying.
Damo. You gotta make up for CP. Now he's opening his game up.
J-Rob, because this is kind of going to what Chip was saying, though. So now are we all of a sudden discrediting JT though, just because?
No discredit.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a fine line.
But the thing is, I'm gonna tell you why. This is my issue with the Celtics as how I feel like. I feel like Joe Mazzulla, even with Ime Udoka last year, I feel like they walk on the court every week, and the Celtics walk on a basketball court and say, "All right, who's gonna get it done for us today?" Not both guys gonna get it done for me today. Who's gonna play good today? I feel like when it comes to Book and KD, you're gonna consistently get these performances from these guys. You're not gonna get a bunch of 1-9, a 1-9 first half. Then we get to a point where in a late game situation, down one, you kicking out to Marcus Smart, where you need to go get a layup or some free throws and win the basketball game. I just personally feel like it is easily right now. I think Devin Booker is definitely not. I'm not going to say clears, because I feel like that's a big adjective to use. But I think he's at the point where he's established himself as a little bit better of a basketball player, right?
And I think that's largely due to KD getting on that crew when he got on that crew and recognizing that, this is the dude, and I'm going to play off you. I'm going to still do me, but I'm not going to overshadow you. I'm going to let you do what you do. That's just going to make us so much better. The problem that I had with Phoenix was I just didn't feel like it was enough time. Like, you get KD on this unit. He's missed almost 2 months. Not only has he missed almost 2 months, he's coming off injury. And now we're going to get him on this crew and basically play 8 games. And then we get to the playoffs and let's see if we can figure this out. And everybody's not everybody, but people are telling me that now the Phoenix Suns are the favorite. I'm like, wait a minute. I think that's just a discredit to all the other teams that have been together in the playoffs, that have developed that chemistry, that have developed that camaraderie.
Something I didn't take into account. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you.
No, go ahead, Damo. No, go ahead.
Something I never took into account with Kevin Durant coming to the Suns. Initially, I gave it the credit to, Devin Booker is going to get these easy looks because Kevin Durant's going to attract so much attention. We never seen Devin Booker be able to play with a guy that had this much gravity offensively. What I never took into account was the fact that Kevin Durant just spent the last 3-4 years sharing a basketball court with Kyrie Irving. Yes, so Kevin Durant has definitely learned how to play with another dominant on-ball elite scoring guard.
Go a step further than that, though. Steph Curry before that.
Steph Curry.
Go a step further than that. And this is the guy that you guys would say he needed to pass the ball to Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook.
It's different, though. It's different those two situations.
It's different, but Kevin Durant has always played next to a superstar.
No. I'm not saying the fact that
he meant more of a ball dominant, like Steph isn't ball dominant.
Russ was ball dominant.
Russ was ball dominant, but he wasn't as skilled. So the things that Russ was doing, you can play off of that. Russ is going to slash. I'm gonna stay here. I know what's coming. But playing with Stephen Curry, that whole Warriors run, that was their system. That was a super system going on. And at least to me, and maybe I'm not a hooper, but to me, it looked like Kevin Durant joined the team, let them run their offense, and was like, hey, when y'all need this 30, I'm right here. I'm playing Kevin Durant basketball, y'all playing Warriors basketball. That's what it was like to me. With Kyrie Irving,
I like that
whatever their system was, that was their system. Whether it was we're both ISOing, we're doing dribble handoffs, or whatever it was that they were doing, they did it together, and that's what they agreed upon. And that was the first time he had something like that with a guy that scored like Kyrie. So now you see him come into the Suns. It's like, okay, well, Kevin Durant, it's not the fact of Kevin Durant needing to find himself in the offense or not step on those shoes. No, you just shared the court with Kyrie Irving for 4 years. You know how to do give and take. You know how to let a guy go when he needs to go. You know when to take over when you need to take over. So I definitely need to give Kevin Durant that credit. I need to give Devin Booker his credit for definitely being able to play off of each other. And Devin Booker's handling it a lot better than I thought he would too.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
And also, KD's the best plug and play player. Like he can plug and play in any most systems in this league just because of like what his skill set is. My bad, Ron.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. And in light of that last super chat, sometime this week we're gonna rank the best duo. Now we rank the best players in the playoffs. We're gonna rank the best duos in the playoffs. We'll get to that sometime this week. But let's keep it moving on the super chats. We got one from Joe. He said AD has had 3 bad playoff games out of 9. That 16-point game, he didn't play in the 4th. Also, he's been by far the best defensive player in the playoffs.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. So in those three games, just by y'all opinion, if he necessarily didn't have a great offensive game, but he played great defensively, is that a bad game?
It's a bad offensive game.
It's not
bad.
But I'm just saying all around. If you're the coach, you got to make an analysis on.
He has different expectations though, Bob. He can't.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying is that a bad game overall to you? If he can shut down the defensive end and maybe only give you 11 points, do you consider that a bad game?
Yeah, because
if you lose the game, if
that causes you to lose, J-Rob, I could do.
Well, not only that, Big Ox, they lose the game, and these games are series shifters. So, for example, that game 2, he plays better. We ain't coming back to Memphis. We're not coming back to Memphis. This series is over. Same thing in Golden State. He plays better. I don't think that's a 30-point. If he gives them 20 and 11, you're getting different energy from D'Angelo Russell. You're getting different energy from LeBron James. You're getting different energy from Rui. And I think we got a different game. And we might not even have to come back down here. We might not even have to come back up here. One thing that I found out, and Big Ox, you know this as a big man, when I'm playing with a big man that's dominant, my chest stick out a little bit more. It just does. When you're playing with Olajuwon, when you're playing with Shaquille O'Neal, when you're playing with Patrick Ewing, you a little tougher. It's like being on the block and you running with a bully. You play a little bit different. But when this dude is soft, that affects your energy too.
Well, for me, and I've never played, point guard except for when you real little in rec league situation. But like for me, I feel like my guards played better when I was holding it down on the defensive end, and they know if they got Rose by him and they ride him, they know I'm going to contest. I'm just saying, just like because you would know better than me, Fluent. I'm just kind of asking y'all, what's better for you as a guard? To me, it feels like if I'm not really hitting my little bank shots, hitting my jump hooks, they're not too much tripping. They like I keep shooting, Bob. It's all good. But if I'm down on the block and I'm getting my blocks, hitting my rebounds, they like, oh yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and you're right. Like in theory, we say that. Hey. That is what you just said is true. The issue is it also is situational though. So the Lakers, as much as they need AD's defense, they also need him to score, right? So even though you're going to say his bad games, but he played great defense, but in those games where he didn't score, they lost.
Not true.
They need his score.
Not every time. There's literally games where he plays bad offensively.
Game 4 against Memphis, they won.
Yeah, you're going to give me one exception.
But it's times in regular season play. If we're just talking playoffs, fine. But there's times with AD, because he's been consistently like this as that type of player, where offensively he's not consistent, defensively he's always there. If he's not giving it to you on offense, it's up to the other guys to step up. I get what you're saying. But
let me rephrase. In the playoffs, more times than not.
Well, technically, in the games you score below 20, they're 2-2.
Can I say something? I try to be quiet for around 30 minutes so that everybody can say I was cutting people off. So can I say something? I'm raising my hand, Ron. Can I say something?
Go ahead, Tim.
Everybody in the crowd, everybody in the audience is okay down there in the chat room? Because y'all down there whining like a bunch of damn babies when I say something. I didn't say nothing for 30 minutes.
No, before you go,
I shut my mouth, y'all. I gave y'all what you asked for.
Hey, Ticket, I'm not trying to stop your flow, bro. I really want to hear what you got to say on this, honestly.
Oh, I was just going to say the Don. I was going to say the Don.
I just want to say before that, Ticket, because you said something earlier and I didn't get the rebuttal because I was giving my 30 minutes of silence to start the show. But I just want to say something real quick, Ticket, because you said forget about Bob, you're going to cook Dama. You can't forget about me, brother. ain't no forgetting about me. Ain't no forgetting about me, bro. We gonna get that in.
Bro, I give y'all the 2-for-1 special. But like I said before, all I was saying to Dama was this, man. Bro, let's stop playing games, man. When you an elite player like AD's supposed to be, bro, he ain't playing against nobody. In the playoffs, this dude has had a vacation, bro.
He played.
So he should have no. He should no. But let me finish what I'm saying. Let's be realistic, bro. And what I'm saying is, most of the great bigs that came before him, they played against great competition. Series after series after series. AD is literally playing against JaMychal Green. Don't cut your ass, nigga, because I'm telling the truth. He's played against JaMychal Green, who has no chance in hell of stopping him. He's played against Draymond Green, who's 4.5 inches smaller than him and should not be able to do anything with him. He's also played against Tillman, who's 6'7", who he should be able to just easily dominate and destroy on a nightly basis.
And who else?
Hold on. So hold on. But let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. So when we look at AD,
I'm not going to say that.
Okay, thank you. Can I finish? Because y'all get mad when I cut y'all off. So what I'm saying is this. So when I look at a guy like Kevin Garnett, right? We expected him to give it to us on both ends, and he did in his prime every single game, right? So when we say that about AD, hold on, let me finish. Yes, he gave you the point in the defense. Am I lying, Chilltown? Chilltown, am I lying? Am I lying, Chilltown? And KG in his prime, he was giving you 25 and 12, along with around 2 blocks and around 4 assists every night. Am I right or wrong?
KG was
Chilltown, am I right or wrong?
KG in the playoffs? He was a dog.
KG was a 20.
Right, on a nightly basis, right? Right. So all I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is respectfully, Dom, respectfully. AD's not playing against the same competition that dude did. He was giving it to you on a nightly basis. AD is playing against dudes that he's supposed to destroy. Easy. And Chilltown can tell you this. AD's had the most favorable matchups. So from the first round to this round, he's had the most favorable matchup. So the point is that this, when I was saying to you about James Harden, he hasn't. He's had Jaylen Brown on him damn the whole series. So he's had tougher guys. And in the first round, you had to deal with Mikal Bridges and them boys. So he had to deal with elite perimeter defenders, right? So what I'm saying about AD is this, sir, respectfully.
They have to deal with the defensive player of the year?
When you say – no, but we know Jaren Jackson can't guard AD.
Who can guard AD?
Yeah,
I'm saying
any big can guard him.
But he don't have. I'm saying he don't. When we look at that, we're not looking at that like that. We know that dude got the defensive player of the year based off something else. It wasn't that he was going to sit up here and be a lockdown defender. All I'm saying to you is this: AD has had the favorable matchups, so he should dominate every single night. On offense and on defense, right? Only thing I'm saying to you is this: I just wanted the same energy for James Harden that you had when AD came in here and bust them dudes' ass that last game, because James Harden did more. Because remember, he didn't have Embiid for a couple games in that first round, and then he's won 2 games. The first one without Embiid, and then last night when Embiid was and everybody else was struggling. So that's why I gave him higher marks on that, because honestly, nobody thought they was going to be here. That's what I'm saying.
You didn't give me a chance. You didn't give me a chance to say nothing about Harden because you spent the first 20 minutes of the show talking about Harden and us not giving him credit, and no one else got to talk. So you didn't even hear what I had to say about Harden's performance to say I wasn't going to give him his credit.
Mars has a question.
Who's not a favorable matchup for AD?
You said what?
You said he's been going up against favorable matchups, Anthony Davis. Who isn't a favorable matchup?
No, I'm saying the competition he plays against in this era.
I heard
you don't really have no. Hold on.
So no one's.
Hold on. I want you to understand, Mars. I know you want to be an asshole because I can't put my hands on you, right? So you're gonna be an ass, right? But I'm gonna say, because if I could reach out and touch your ass, you wouldn't be acting like this. I'm gonna say this right now, right? I'm gonna say this to you. Hold on. I'm gonna say it one more time. AD does not have real comp. On a nightly basis, he don't have real competition.
Are you going to answer my question, or are you just going to raise your voice?
Is it because he's that good, Ticket?
No, because I'm going to ask my question until you answer the question. Who is not a favorable matchup for Anthony Davis?
These nuts, nigga. Now how about that?
Who is not a favorable matchup for Anthony Davis?
Boy, trying to be an asshole, ain't he?
No, I'm trying to ask you a question.
No, but wait.
Because
you know there's no answer, you want to troll around.
Like I said before, little boy. Like I said before.
A favorable matchup.
I'm gonna say it to you again. I'm gonna say it to you again.
Who is
My whole
not a favorable matchup? I'm trying to ask a question, and
Since their whole purpose, since their whole purpose, and Fluent, I'm ignorant at you too, because you know where I'm coming from. Since their whole purpose is try to make me look like I'm an idiot or some shit. All I'm trying to say is
yourself look like that.
You look like an idiot, boy. You ain't never played basketball. You a punk ass little boy.
All right, y'all. We're gonna keep it pushing.
No, Ron, don't do that, because every time he raises his voice, you let it slide. But when I raise my voice, you kick me out. Don't do that, Ron. Don't do that, because you let him talk for 40 minutes straight, and you say it's good content. The moment I raise my voice, you kick me out. Don't do that, Ron. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you're a host, and you never make him answer questions. You never do that.
How am I gonna make this man answer a question? Ticket, answer the question. Who's not a favorite?
Hold on.
Who's not a
I don't
favorite?
have to answer no question from this little punk ass bitch. Who is he, my dad?
All right, now that's that. Now let's move on. Super chats. Angie Carr said for the Suns to win the series.
Valid, bro. I just say I thought your question was valid.
It was a very simple question. It got emotional.
The question's not getting answered.
Hold on, I wasn't even talking to you. Ron, that's my whole point. If I'm not talking to this peon, why does he keep asking me questions? Let's get
back to the matter at hand here. Anthony Davis should be dominant in the playoffs consistently.
Every game.
Period.
Yes,
every game.
100%. Consistently.
Hold on. If I was talking to Chilltown, why I gotta ask a question from him if I'm having a conversation with Chilltown?
Every night in these playoffs, Anthony Davis, when he's on the floor,
he has the
favorable matchup.
That's all I'm saying. So what I'm saying to him is, and ain't nobody folding, Ron just put me in the background. All I'm saying is, and to answer Mar's question, my point was that AD should dominate every single night because he don't have no real competition out here.
These days.
But is it because he's that good? Once again,
yeah. Once again, I'm
no, it's not because he's that good, Bob.
NBA who's not a favorable matchup for Anthony Davis.
What's the reason?
Bob, it's not because he's that good. It's because it's not that many. Okay, so let me answer the question for you. It's not that many. It's not that many. Hold on. It's not that many big men in the league left that he had that competition with. It's not that many. When the era before,
but the ones that are good, he still does work against them. For example, I watched him put 40 and 20 on Giannis.
I'll give you that. Hold on. I'm not saying.
I watched him put 30 and 15 on Embiid. I watched him kick Rudy Gobert's ass, the best defensive player in the game at one point. Now,
what is that saying though?
Now here's the logic that you're selling. You're looking at these guys like Olajuwon, like Ewing, like David Robinson, like Shaq. Them dudes are gone, Ticket. Those dudes are gone. But there's still competition in this era at the big man spot. It ain't Olajuwon, Shaq, Ewing, no, but there's still competition at the big man spot. And Anthony Davis does thrive at that position. He just doesn't do it as consistent as you would like.
And I don't think there is a big man in the NBA that really that matches up well against AD. Like, I don't think there's any, like, we've seen AD dominate every good big in the NBA before. So,
but there's not many good big. All I'm saying is this. Okay, where would AD be if he played in that era? What Olajuwon? Would he be at the top of the food chain?
I mean but that's the era.
No. But see what you just said? Hold on, Rob. But you just said no. So that's why
Tim Duncan, KG, Shaq. There was a lot of great bigs in that older era, man.
No, hey, that's why I'm saying. Hey, look, that's all I'm saying is this, bro. Is that when you don't, if I'm going to the Y and I'm playing against dudes in the Y, I'm supposed to dominate these dudes every night. All I'm saying is they're putting undersized dudes who really have no chance to stop AD on him. He's had that favorable matchup. But when he doesn't destroy those dudes offensively, then Dom will say, oh, no, he had a great defensive game. No, we didn't give that slack to no other all-time great big man who could score on the side of the basketball. Because why? They came and did their job. No, they came every night Every night.
Players in the era that they're playing, though, and the fact is, the reason we hate on AD sometimes is because he is inconsistent. But AD in this era, in that era, in those eras would be a dominant player on both sides of the ball. His issue is health and consistency. I can't compare him to what if he was in the 90s. Today, is he going to have bad offensive games? Yes, and that's what drives you nuts, because you're right. He should be dominating, but he can't dominate every single night. That's not who he is. That's it.
Hey, Daniel, you'll never, Ron can put that on the screen. You'll never say that to my face, bro. Ever. I promise you that.
The next time you go,
y'all can hey, look, y'all can get y'all trolls off. Hey, look, y'all can use this show. Y'all can use this show. Do your little secret shit. Try to make me look bad. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I stand on my nuts every day because I know what I believe in, and I put work in this shit for real. A lot of you niggas is just talking. A lot of you niggas ain't never been between them lines, so you couldn't understand a nigga like me. You can't understand what I'm talking about because you never went out there and did it. You never banged in the post. You never had to guard a pick and roll. You never had to motherfucking run those laps every goddamn day for 25 years, nigga. So I don't want to hear that shit. Shut your bitch ass up. If you ain't did what I did, you can't talk to me.
Hey, all right, yo, Damo, what's up? Talk to me.
I just want like that, bro. I just want to say Mike James sat and said that Stephen Curry's job could be done by so many other people, and he has ran the laps, and he has ran between the lines, and he has shot the free throws, and he has ran through the screens. Just because you play basketball don't mean everything you say is correct about basketball.
Who said that?
This narrative,
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
You just sat here and tried to devalue these people's opinion on what you're saying. They have
their
opinions about you.
I'm talking about their thing.
Take it, stop. Whether you're talking about this panel, whether you're talking about the chat, regardless, you just sat here and tried to say, because so many people haven't done what you done between the lines, in the weight room, with the pick and rolls, that they don't know what they're talking about, or y'all will never understand. Cut the crap, man. Stop with this shit.
Okay, hey, Dom, put your money up, boy, and I'll make you lose it, nigga. Period. Like I said before, I don't got to do no more talking with you, nigga. Y'all niggas acting like some real hoes around here, bro. I stand on mine in real goddamn life. You can check my shit, nigga. My shit's certified and solidified, Ron. Like I said, nigga.
Ticket, we know who you are, Ticket. Nobody questioning you.
Nobody never gonna treat me like no hoe. And life, in real life, fake life, no life, nigga. When they had a PC, I'm gonna clean all this shit out. When I do the PC challenge, I'm gonna clean all this shit out. I'm gonna clean all this shit out. You watch.
Hey, Ticket. Listen to me.
That's some fake ass shit. Nigga trying to make a nigga like a hoe. I don't play that shit, dog.
Hey, Ticket.
I'm coming from a different cloth, Town.
Ain't nobody.
I'm not gonna let no punk ass little punk like Mars or no nigga like Dom on talk no shit, nigga.
Nobody doing that.
God forbid I ask a question.
Nobody doing that, Ticket.
God forbid I ask a question on a panel. Imagine if we just sat here and no one asked anyone a question. That's the content people want. Just sit in silence.
Nobody. I want to get Ticket back up here because I want to get to the bottom of this, man. Because I don't want this dude up here thinking that it's all of us against him and he ain't got nothing to say, because that's not true. Ticket, your point is valid as a ball player, but it doesn't demean other people neither. That's the point.
All right, fellas, we're going to continue to keep it pushing. I'm going to read a couple super chats, and then also I do want to talk about the Lakers and the Warriors game. That's obviously, the biggest thing that's going on today. So we will get into that. Angie Carr said for the Suns to win the series, they'll have to win in Game 5 in Denver and lean in on Matt Ashiba for another monster performance in Game 6.
Phoenix in 6.
I said Denver in 5, but it looks like it's going to be 6 games.
I had Phoenix and Philly before the playoffs. I'm going to stick with Phoenix and Philly now.
You did say that. Yes, you did.
Warnock56, shout out Warnock. He said, who's the better defender at their best and why? Duncan versus AD, Hakeem versus KG, and Ben Wallace versus Rodman. How you guys feeling about these matchups?
Duncan, Hakeem, Ben Wallace.
Same. Yeah, might as well retweet that.
Mm-hmm. Very good question. Tim, yeah, it is. Tim Duncan, Hakeem, and Ben Wallace was a better defender than Dennis Rodman?
I think so.
No, I don't think so. No. I do not think Ben Wallace was a better defender than Dennis Rodman. I think Dennis Rodman on the perimeter. I think that's where the separator is. I think Dennis Rodman is also a better rebounder. We discount rebounding defensively so much.
I agree.
How big I don't think that we value rebounding as much as when you're talking about defense, because that's basically the
that's
end.
How you end the possession. That's
how you end
possession. I tried to get this off before, but it was kind of hectic in here. I look at rebounding as like in football terms. I look at it as like kind of your special teams. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of a drive, and you kick the field goal or kick the punt. I feel like that's kind of just ending the drive. Like I don't look at defense even though it's called defensive rebound or offensive rebound. I look at it as kind of like an add-on. So it's like if you're not a very good rebounder, you can still be a good defender. You can that's
or you can and you could also. Okay, I'm sorry, Tone. We can't hear you, Tone. Tone, we can't hear you.
You muted, Fluent.
Can't hear you, Tone. Nope, still can't hear you. Anyway, so you could be a good defender and not a very good rebounder. You could be a good rebounder, not a very good defender. Kevin Love is an awesome rebounder, not a very good defender, right? Blake Griffin was a good rebounder, not a very good defender. Dennis Rodman, on the other hand, when you're talking about demoralizing teams, because I think that Ben Wallace was a fantastic defender. I think Ben Wallace was a fantastic defender. I don't think he was as good a rebounder, and I don't think his rebounding was as demoralizing as Dennis's was, where you holding teams to one possession regularly, and you're holding a guy, one of their best scorers, to one possession. When you're doing that on the regular, one-on-one, I think that I separate Dennis from Ben Wallace, plus his versatility, where he could cover 1 through 5. I felt like Ben Wallace could cover on the perimeter, but I don't think he could cover on the perimeter like Dennis did.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Anthony Davis, on the other hand, him and Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, I think it was more consistent more than it was anything. I think Tim Duncan was a better rim protector. As good as a rim protector as Anthony Davis is, I think Tim Duncan may have been a better rim protector than him and a better paint presence. Now, when you're talking about who was the other one, it was Olajuwon and
KG.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I don't know if you said this already. I was just going to add on. You can still be a good, if you already said it, my apologies. You could still be a good defender without being a good rebounder, but I think we don't add defensive rebounds into how good of a defender is, and we should. Because to Mars and Chill's point, that ends the possession. Just like I think you should add offensive rebounding to offensive skill set because it keeps the possession going. So I think where Dennis Rodman, why I would pick him over Wallace, and it's close, is perimeter, and it's that rebounding of ending a drive, ending a possession. Yeah, that's what Dennis Rodman did better than anybody else.
You know what, Fluent? Just by you just saying that right there, that kind of made me kind of rethink my whole logic on that, because I've said a bunch of times about Rudy Gobert. They say Rudy Gobert is terrible on offense, and I'm like, because he's a lob threat first of all, but his offensive rebounding abilities make it to where he's not that bad on offense. He can get 4 or 5 offensive rebounds, and that's 8 to 10 points right there. So
exactly.
I look at it that way. Yeah,
it's just
100%.
You see how many games where it drives me nuts, and we talk about this all the time, where they shoot a long 3, and it's like, oh, there goes the possession, but someone on offense tips it back out, and they get the ball back, and you're like, oh, here you go. Now they got a second chance. Those second chance, we applauded Westbrook. Remember, as bad as he was shooting. We applauded Westbrook because what did he do? He was going crazy and tipping the ball and getting offensive rebounds down the stretch, keeping those possessions going. That's a huge part of offense that we only look at the stats sometimes. And if we watch the games, we're going to see, because sometimes Russ, let's say, doesn't get credit for it. He tips it and someone else gets the offensive rebound, but it was that tip that made it happen. It was that extra. It's those things that don't show up on the stat sheet that need to be kind of part of your analysis, which is why you got to watch the games.
And when you
those are winning plays. Those are winning plays.
And when you offensive rebound, what you do is that's demoralizing to the other team, because if I'm spending 18 seconds, 20 seconds on defense, and then they get the offensive rebound, and then they put us on defense for another 15, 18 seconds, and then they get another. That's demoralizing to our defense.
Like we can't get a rebound. Right.
That's a big deal.
So I got a question, another question, Chelsea, because you were saying Rodman in comparison to Ben Wallace, Rodman's better on the perimeter. Would you also say that AD is better on the perimeter than Tim Duncan?
No, I won't say that. And the reason why I won't say that, because I've seen Tim Duncan. I think Tim Duncan on the perimeter, his ability to recover when he gets beat just at the rim alone, I think it's elite. And not just at the rim, even in the paint, his ability to recover when he gets beat. I pay attention when I'm thinking about a defender. What I pay attention to more than anything is I pay attention to how you recover. Because when you're playing against a great offensive player, one of the things that happens the most is they have a counter for you because they know how good you are defensively. So they're going to have a counter for you. And when they have that counter for you, when they get past you, how do you recover from that? And guys like Tim Duncan, guys like KG, guys like Ben Wallace, guys like, a prime example would be Ben Wallace, where Ben Wallace is getting pushed in the paint and he blocks a shot and then he gets pushed and then he gets right back into play and he'll get the rebound. Stuff like that matters as a defender, as opposed to where you're just going to play token defense. And once you get beat, your ability to recover sucks.
Can I ask you a question, Chill? Do you think that, because you talk about AD and Tim Duncan, obviously AD's injury history probably kind of plagues the way we look at him in his career, but do you think he was a more talented rim protector than Tim Duncan?
I think he was a better athlete, which mattered. And the fact that you're a better athlete, I think that goes into play because, again, we can talk about you being able to recover, you being able to jump higher, right? And if you're able to jump higher, now I can get more rebounds. I can recover quicker. So when you're doing stuff like that, as opposed to being beat up and not being on the floor, I think that's the separator.
Right.
And you know what?
There are times when your athleticism can bail you out. Like I remember, I know it's golf, but Michael Jordan saying in golf you can't lose your concentration because you're screwed. He goes, but there's times when I'd be playing basketball where it's like I'd be thinking about something else, but my athleticism got me by.
Right.
So a guy like Tim Duncan, I think that's why I give him more credit. He wasn't going to jump over you and block your shot, whereas AD may be in a bad position, but because he's athletic and can jump and has long arms, it bails him out of bad positioning, right? So a guy like Tim Duncan's like, I give him more credit because he can get bailed out by his athleticism. He had to be at the right spot.
Right. I like
and
that.
On top of that, and we can move on from here, Ron. But on top of that, a guy like Anthony Davis, or a guy like Tim Duncan, a guy like Hakeem Olajuwon. If I'm coming off a screen and I got a 7-foot guy who's just as fast as me, you know, the rim looks a lot further away when I'm in front of a dude that's 6'10" is in front of me, especially in the third or the fourth quarter, as opposed to a guy that's my size. I feel like I can get past him, and if I'm going downhill and that rim isn't protected, I feel like I can score on him. Just like when you see Steph Curry, Mars brought up the point where Steph Curry goes down the lane and Anthony Davis is in the paint. I think I'm going to go this way. I don't know if I want to.
Right.
I'm going to try something else. So
real quick before you do move on, Ron, because somebody even in the chat said about Dennis Rodman's effort, and that what you were talking about, Showtime, like just recovering when you get beat. That's pure just effort, and that's a problem a lot of times with defense. Well, obviously, it's being athletic, having long arms, but it's effort though. It's effort to see a guy that's quicker than you go by you and just not be like, oh well, he beat me. Now, like go catch him, meet him at the rim. That's a part of basketball that I like to point out. It's defense is a lot of effort.
I've said that countless times, Big Ox. I could teach you how to slip screens. I could teach you how to slip blockouts. I could teach you how to block out. At the end of the day, stick your nose in and go get the basketball.
I want to say something to everybody in the comment section. I ain't never run. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can kill that narrative. Somebody got to be the bad guy. So y'all can like have at it. You understand what I'm saying? Every way in life, somebody got to be the good guy, and somebody got to be the bad guy. But I tell you one thing. A lot of these mofos did not say the shit that I said, and I'm gonna say it again. I told you hoes that James Harden was gonna have a virtuoso, and he did. They said he couldn't. He came and did it again, and I pulled Dom's card for praising AD when he had bad games. When James Harden came and had 2 great games and did what Chilltown said that he didn't think he could do.
He did do that. Series ain't over yet, though. Series ain't over yet.
It's how this all started, Chilltown. I was talking to you. I was talking to you because you know what the narrative was, right?
Yep. I was the one.
That's the only thing I was saying was right. That's the only thing I was saying was, bro, because it was a lot, not just you. It was a lot of people. Dub was coming here being very disrespectful, saying the stuff he was saying too after the second game. Know what I'm saying? I'm just saying if you're gonna jump up in here. When you want Dub, bring your ass in here and get a man his props. That's all I was referring to with Dom when I was saying that. Because we don't praise Harden. Dom said one thing. I want y'all to think about this. He said, oh, well, AD has great defensive games. We don't praise James Harden when he get 12 or 13 assists when he's having a bad shooting night. When he's doing other good things like getting teammates involved and running the offense, controlling the game, getting 9, 10 rebounds. We don't praise that. Why? Because he went 2 of 14. We only look at his offense. We only look at his offense as far as scoring. We don't look at the other things he do when he got 12 assists, 10, 11 rebounds.
Because it's so glaring, no ticket. Because them 12 assists, it'll be followed with 6 or 7 turnovers, and him missing those many shots. It'll be in the meat and potatoes or in crucial points of the game, which could cost his crew games. That's why we talk about James Harden the way we do. We ain't just making this up just now. But we came in here. I know I came in here to talk about the effort that he put in yesterday. Yep. I was impressed with it. I was absolutely impressed with it. However, we still got a series. We still have a series, and I ain't ready to get on the James Harden bandwagon yet. Nope.
Hold on. So let's get this right now. You don't think he can do it one more time? You don't think he can get one more versus us?
I think he give you another one.
No, hold on. I'm asking you, chill town. We can do some money right now. We can get to all the cap. We can do a cool 500 right now. Hold on. We can do a cool 500 right now.
I'm not betting you $500, but I'm not betting you $500, but I don't think he could do it again. No, I don't.
He gonna do it again, chill town.
Yo, Ticket. The thing about it is, James Harden did his job. He didn't get you 240 pieces and got 2 wins.
Oh, bro.
It's really not his job to win this series no more. Joel Embiid gotta be the MVP of the NBA.
Get on your job, big fella.
Thank you,
Ron. Your job, big fella.
I'm tired of y'all using James Harden as a scapegoat. Y'all not gonna use him as a scapegoat. Embiid gotta come to play as well.
No, but Chilltown always say it though. The Sixers gonna go as far as Joel Embiid takes it.
But I said that. I said they shouldn't play with Harden with Embiid the way they was playing with him this series, and I got killed for that because everybody said Harden didn't have it no more, right? So, to me, he's the key to the series. The same way AD is the key to the Lakers series. But my whole argument with Don was, and this respectfully, bro, was that it don't matter what AD do defensively. If he's not dominating offensively too, the Lakers gonna lose in series.
Yo, I want to ask a question. So, have we already labeled this as a good series for James Harden? Like, let's say he comes and has 2 15-point games the next 2 games. Will we still say that this is a good series from James Harden?
I mean, if he has 15 and 10, if he has 15 and 10, and Embiid has 40, and they win the game, I'm not gonna say
no. It's only a good series if he plays well and they win. We don't applaud losing.
Right.
He just exceeded the expectations, the low expectations that a lot of people have for him. That's all he did.
I mean, that's what matters. Wins and losses. Jokic had 53. We ain't talked about it. Once. That's fair. That's what matters.
But see, this is the thing. Though,
53. We're not talking about it.
But J-Rob, Fluent, this is the thing I hate though. We're not saying nothing about Maxi's horrible game. But we praising Maxi when he ball out. He was horrible. Tobias Harris did nothing. We ain't saying that dude getting paid $100-something million.
Yeah, but listen, you're going to talk more about Embiid because he's the number 1. You're going to talk second most about Harden because he's the number 2, and you go down the line. You're not expecting Maxi or Tobias Harris to carry that team. You're expecting Embiid and Harden to carry that team, just like with every other team. We're not talking about whoever else on any team. We're talking about their stars, their number 1s, number 2s. That's where the expectation is the highest. So when Harden has a good game, we're going to talk about it. When he has a crappy game, we're going to talk about it.
Right.
But I'm sorry, we're not going to talk about, I don't know, Austin Reeves as much as we're going to talk about AD and Braun. It doesn't make sense.
Right. Speaking of which, the Lakers and the Warriors are playing tonight. I need thoughts and predictions on this game. Before we do that, yo, Euro, you there? Yes. I have to add one more person to this contest, and I'm gonna go with none other than not LeBron, not Steph, not Clay, not Austin Reeves. There he is.
Draymond.
Yeah.
Draymond.
Hey, Hall of Fame Dre.
Hall of Fame Dre.
Ticket. I want to actually ask you, what should we go with? Assist, points, or rebounds?
Under on everything.
I don't like.
All right.
Hey, well, I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling, bro. I'm not trolling, bro. He not, bro. His mind in the series. He don't have the same approach he have against everybody else, against LeBron and AD. These are just facts. You don't see that same passion that you seen against the Sacramento Kings.
He wasn't doing all that balking he was doing against Sacramento.
All that stuff. He not doing, bro. Listen, he not invested into this series emotionally. Completely. He's getting upset with the referees where he's gonna get himself ejected. But he's not having an effect on this series, really. Everybody say he locked up AD. To me, that was more so AD not being aggressive.
Yeah, I agree.
So as you can see, we're taking the lower on Draymond. We also have a couple more in there as well. But we have Julius Randle higher than 23 points. And then we have AD getting 41 plus points, rebounds, and assists higher. We're doing that. All right. This is what we're doing. You see, we put in 50. We're getting paid out 300.
Yo,
now,
it's no way you went lower on 8.5 points.
Yes, we have to. We have to be smart at some point.
8.5 points is lower. Is crazy though.
We have to be smart at some point.
You already lost with AD, man. It's an even game.
When you get this money, just celebrate and honor me, man.
I got you. I'm going straight to the.
You
just use your imagination. I'm gonna be where low is.
I hear they have good wings there.
Fire wings. Ask Lou Will.
Lou Will.
Hey Ron, can I ask you a question?
Delicious.
Why ain't nobody complaining about the Warriors getting rid of letting James Wiseman go when you could have used him on AD for this series for some minutes?
Comida. James Wiseman, food. It would have been food. Comida.
But you're not understanding. Hold on. But J Rob, you don't understand where I'm coming from. He's still a 7-footer. They don't have bigs, bro. Deion Looney, he has no bigs. So now you put midgets on the dude. At least with him, he gives you a few minutes on the guy.
Yo, but Ticket, I don't even think that little bit of time would have did nothing, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like I get because of the height, like you're trying to match height with height, but
All right, and he's a solid rim protector.
Comida.
Okay.
I do think they gave up on Wiseman too early, in my opinion. Okay. I mean, I get it. Their expectations, the championship expectations, and how long are you supposed to let the young guys come along, especially a second pick. But yeah, James Wiseman.
Is Wiseman in the league in 2 years?
James Wiseman.
He just averaged a double-double with Detroit. What are you talking about? But it's the worst double-double in the league, though. But he just averaged a double-double with Detroit.
In 2 years, James Wiseman is going to be in somewhere like Utah or Charlotte, putting up great numbers, just not winning.
Advanced round, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, fellas. I need to know thoughts and predictions on this game tonight. We all know how the series has gone so far.
3-1.
Lakers are up 2-1. Do the Warriors get a game tonight?
If the Warriors are still the most undisciplined championship team I've ever seen, it's an easy 3-1 for us tonight. But if the Warriors actually come out and play like the team that we all know they are and capable of being, at least at home. I don't know about on the road. But if they're able to actually dominate and play Warriors basketball, it might be a little scary. Depends on what AD we getting. If we're getting what was it? Even game AD?
Even game AD.
We're getting even game AD. Hey man, that's crazy. But I don't know, man. I trust the Warriors to get some technicals. I trust some more take fouls. I trust a lot more of what happened in game 3 to happen in this game too. James
due for a big time game too, by the way.
This is now game 10, right? Game 10? Game 10. Mm-hmm. So every single game we've seen AD go odd game high, even game low. So it's a pattern. So until that pattern is broken, you go with the pattern. So AD is going to have a bad game. That's going to make it really hard for the Lakers. We're going to be sitting here tomorrow going, what the hell happened? How did they lose by 20? Well, it'll be the same conversation. Now, if he breaks that pattern, and I'm all for it. I want it.
If I see Anthony Davis, if I get a 15-15 and 4 block game from them and they win,
I'm happy.
I'm cool.
If they win, that's amazing. That's amazing.
They can't win like that, Chilltown. They can't beat the Warriors like that, bro. AD's got 30, bro. They can't win like that. That means he ain't being aggressive enough offensively, bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
We've already seen it.
That means it's just not falling. You still can have
No. I'm saying
easily been like
AD has fit down. AD has literally, if he has 15, they're not winning this game. He has to be in the upper 20s, close to the 30s for them to win, bro. It's a look. Just watch how the game is being played, bro. Watch how because that means that he is not being aggressive and exposing them in the paint. And most of the other Laker players can't do that outside of LeBron. LeBron and AD are the two guys that live and camp inside the paint. Them other dudes are really perimeter oriented guys like Austin Reeves, like Roy Hachimura shooting all the threes, and the rest of the guards they got. Those are perimeter-oriented guys. The Lakers kill these dudes in the paint. If AD doesn't have 30, they lose in the game. And then I'm gonna say this: I haven't been hard enough on Jordan Poole. He's been absolute trash, bro. And it's a disgrace what he has really hurt this series, because for him, you got paid, dog. All the stuff with you and Draymond's behind you. You got to step up and play basketball, man. He literally looks like he's not an NBA basketball player out there.
You know what trauma is?
Listen,
that boy can't even look. He can't even look straight. He can't think straight. He can't walk straight.
This whole series, both
Forget
teams,
about Draymond.
it's all on AD's shoulders, guys. That's
All
it.
of it.
For everybody
for
in
sure,
chat,
for
it was
All of
the,
it.
I hate listening to fluent talk. I hate it. Yeah, if you don't like the truth. Go look at the stats, bro. Go watch the games. One game he's great, the next game he sucks. When he sucks, the Lakers lose. It's not rocket science. It's actually very simple.
I agree. Ticket. Let me ask you this though, because you said AD needs 30, and I don't really. I mean, we've watched games that they've won in the playoffs. He did not get 30. I think the best thing about this team is, you could get a game where AD has 22, 14, 5 blocks, and that's been more than enough because, Bron's going to come along. I think D'Lo has been a great matchstick for them to ignite them in scoring. I think he gives them great energy. Austin Reeves and Rui come to play. Lakers have been great when it's been a collective team effort.
Yeah, but he's not consistent. The guy you just said is not consistent though. D'Lo had all the points last game. He might come out and go 1 of 8 in the first quarter tonight. See what I'm saying? He's not a guy that's consistently playing that level. That's what I'm saying. The AD is the dude with the matchup. He's a dude that always got to be there. His numbers always got to be there because he has the matchup advantage. Think about this thing. Like I said with Jordan Poole, bro. Jordan Poole lucky Jordan Poole Draymond punched his ass out and he got his money early. Because the way he's playing, bro, he wouldn't have got that bread, bro, if they would have waited to pay him, bro.
Ticket, we it right now. Ticket. Last year, this time, we are comparing Jordan Poole to Bradley Beal and Donovan Mitchell. Now I gotta listen to people. Now I gotta listen to people tell me, yo, what's this dude's name? Austin Reeves is better than Jordan Poole. That's where we at now.
Yeah, it's bad, bro.
That's where we at now.
IQ-wise, let's be real. Go ahead, Don.
Can I just say, when it comes to this whole Anthony Davis conversation, yes, I do agree. The expectations is for him to be dominant every night and have a 30-point game so we can win. But in reality, what J-Dub said is absolutely true. Collective efforts are what's really been getting us by.
J-Rob.
Yes,
J-Rob, I'm sorry. I said J-Dub. I'm sorry. J-Rob, I'm sorry. Just not me.
J-Dub.
J-Dub.
J-Rob.
I got my J's mixed up.
Straight. Keep going, Damo. Keep going, Damo.
Go ahead.
But when it comes to D'Angelo Russell, his literally game six against Memphis, 31 crazy shooting, went crazy. Follow that game up with a 19-point performance, which the efficiency was mad, but it was still 19 points and other guys did their job. And that was another game where AD did well. The next game where AD played bad, D'Lo plays bad. Other guys are playing bad. As long as we don't need Anthony Davis to give us 30 points for us to win. That is not the keys for us to win a championship. We would like it. That's the expectation because of how great he is. But what we need is AD to consistently be the defender. If he's consistently our best defender and everyone else is playing a team collective game, we can get 15 from him, 20 from him, 40 from him. We're going to win.
Good. That sounds really good in theory, except he has played great defense almost with the exception of one game. What has been the difference in their wins and losses? It has been his offense.
Other players.
No, but
also with the teammates.
His offense,
Fluent.
of course, it's the team, but his offense is what creates for everybody else. So when he's having a bad offensive night, we've seen them lose. His defense has been there. That's why I didn't say anything about it, because his defense has been super for the entire playoffs. But it's his offense that gets other people going, that when you see him going, even if he doesn't score 30, I'm not saying he has to score 30, but even when he's having a good offensive game, it makes it easier. For whatever reason, it gives confidence to D'Lo. It gives confidence to Rui. I don't know why. They all feed off his offensive energy. And that's what I'm saying. His defense. Do you disagree?
That is a coincidence.
No, I'm saying fair.
Which is also fair too, Tone. And I thought that Darvin Ham, same thing that Monty Williams did. I thought he did a good job of digging into that bench and adding rotation, guys like Lonnie Walker. I thought he did a good job at that, and I think he needs to continue doing that tonight. Now, what we didn't talk about was
Lonnie Walker.
What we didn't talk about was how Anthony Davis defensively, how when he stopped and dropped coverage. Now he's getting on the top side of that. Now he's chasing Steph Curry off screens, and now he's getting higher. Now he's creating more turnovers. When he's creating more turnovers, now that speeds the Lakers up. Now, with that speeding the Lakers up, that's getting guys like D'Angelo Russell involved in the game. That's getting Schroeder involved in the game. James, you see his effort pick up. I think that that's all predicated defensively on Anthony Davis, because when he's doing that, then now he's a better rim runner. He's not only a better rim runner, we also see him as more active on the box. We see him more active offensively when he's doing that. He's going to be the difference in this series. Don't get me wrong. I think Darvingham did a great job in adding his rotation guys in Rui, in Lonnie Walker. I thought that was a great job. Anthony Davis is going to be the difference, and it's going to start.
You know who else did a great job? You know who else did a great job? And we talked about it, so I know that I know that your guy LeBron watches this show, was LeBron. Because remember what I said. A guy like LeBron needs to show his leadership and be like, hey, AD, take this, go score. And what did you see? He came on the top of the key and just gunned it right at AD, goes, yo, take him. And
it worked out for him.
He needs it. They won.
It worked out for him.
I agree with that.
He had a great player. He had great players. It looked bad at first because it was down by like 9 or 10. And it was like, damn, this guy, he ain't shooting the ball. But it's kind of almost forced the other guys to kind of.
That's it right there, Ticket. You just said it. I'm going to make you dudes get involved in this game. That's exactly
the only problem I had with that is when Kobe did the same thing and didn't have as good as teammates as LeBron had. They killed Kobe when he did that in Phoenix and said he quit. But LeBron, he's got AD, he's got great teammates, forced those guys to step up. I thought it was a smart move by him.
Yep.
Kobe waited till game 7 to do that, though, Ticket. That was the bad part.
But I think Bron would have did that if it was game 7 too, because I think the fact that Bron was so heated that everybody accused him of ruining the game because AD didn't want to play the game before. And remember, Bron had it going early. I think Bron came out and said, you know what, the hell with this. Okay, y'all say I'm the problem. Well, let's see you guys solve it then. And he came up off the rock.
All right, fellas, I need thoughts and predictions on tonight's game. What's going to happen? Who's winning?
Warriors have to win.
Warriors.
So the fact that the Warriors have to win.
The Warriors on the free throw line.
That the Warriors are going to win.
The Warriors on the free throw line tonight. Free throw discrepancy is going to be in favor of the Warriors tonight.
J-Rob, which direction are you leaning towards?
I'm the only one who only had the stones to pick them the other day. My boy Uncle Flu is here. I'm taking the Lakers again. They're going up 3-1, and that is what it is. And I'm happy to have you, Uncle Flu. I needed you last week.
Uncle Flu shot.
Appreciate you, nephew. Man, I'm not allowed to pick against my Lakers. It feels like a 2-2.
Same Memphis. You know, Fluent. Do what you do the right thing.
I know. I gotta go with reality over fandom, and it's this series is gonna be 2-2 after tonight.
Mars.
Lakers.
Simple as that. Mm-hmm. You got but who you got having a better game though? Steph or AD?
Anthony Davis.
So everybody up here believes AD's gonna have a monster night, except for
no.
Well, I know.
I think Steph's gonna go off tonight. He hasn't had a big game this series yet.
40,
still waiting on Steph
because of that Vandalorian, man. It's that Vandalorian.
42 for Steph tonight, and the Warriors win, and AD with another like 15 points.
Uncle Jermaine, they said Vando can't do this, Vando can't do that. Hey, man.
That Vandalorian is something else.
That Vandalorian is something else.
I said that the Lakers was a semifinals team at best before the playoffs. That's where I'm at.
No.
So you got the Warriors
Skywalker and the Vandalorian. I love it. I love it.
That's where I'm at.
Okay. So you got the Warriors. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say clawing back, but
hold on, Till, you picking the Warriors tonight?
Yes.
Damn. Y'all make me want to pick the Lakers. Y'all dudes up here picking the Warriors.
Pick the Warriors. Pick the Warriors, man. So then we could go crazy.
I don't know, man. I want my boy Jordan Poole to show up tonight, man.
I got the Warriors.
Man, he's going on $500,000 dates with Ice Spice, man.
He's so wild with that.
He's
so wild with that.
Yeah, his mind not right, man.
What, man?
Is that
Draymond? Once Draymond. Look, once Draymond punched him in the face, man, it messed up his vibe.
I'm a fan of showing a young lady a nice time, but 500 stacks.
Hey, when you got it, you gonna show a real nice time, right?
Young rich boy, let him
500 stacks. You know what I could do with 500 stacks?
500 racks on a date is tough.
That's super wild. I don't care if I'm doing it that big. I'm not tricking 500 stacks on no cooch.
He's really a month.
I ain't trying to. No,
really a month.
Hey, that's an investment. It's coming back.
Nope.
I hope
It
so.
better come back.
They better come back. Yeah.
I
New
hope
York.
so.
You'll just burn it. Set fire.
Wow, this
Hey,
stinks.
Hey,
I hope
I
on
do
another
think
day.
I do think the Warriors.
I gotta
I do
give you some
think-
old school advice here, because all you did now was set a level of expectation. Don't ever do that. Keep that
He
bar
ain't
low.
trying to marry her.
That bar low.
Big up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know. I do think the Warriors got to get Draymond to push limits tonight. I think he got to push limits tonight, and I'm just talking about with his approach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but I do think he's a good limit pusher. I'm talking about he know how to push the energy of the team. Like if his energy is on 100, the team and he's clicking where he's pushing the rock fast half court, getting off the board, getting up fast, getting the ball to Steph, getting the ball to Clay, whipping it. They look great. But when he hasn't been doing that this series, bro, I've been watching Draymond like he been in La La Land, bro. He hadn't been locked in, bro. He hadn't been focused, man. I don't know what it is.
And that energy.
That's because his lawyers have told him that he might have an indictment coming down for that attempted murder in last round. So he kind of worried.
Still on that hot big ox. You still on that?
He worried about
you ain't off that, are you? You ain't
Hey,
gonna
by the way,
get off that, are you?
I'm
You ain't gonna
glad
get
you
off
said it.
that,
By the
are you?
way, Jokic should not be suspended, y'all. Dude touched him first. When dude put his hands on you, all limits is off, bro. I'm hearing people say Jokic should be suspended.
We literally just talked about it, Ticket. If that's me sitting in the front row and I grab the basketball, I'm getting escorted out the door.
Right.
I'm getting escorted out the door.
But then he put his hands on Jokic, though.
On top of that, I'm gonna grab the ball and then I'm gonna put my hands on Joker. I'm getting escorted out the door in handcuffs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy. And he should be fine for that too. He shouldn't be able to hold the ball. That gives your team an advantage because Jokic was trying to inbound that ball.
Because you know sometimes someone grabs you from behind and you don't know, like your first instinct sometimes is to turn around. Yeah, exactly. He could have got a lot worse. He could have got a lot worse.
Yo, fellas. One more game. Need predictions. Heat and Knicks. The Heat are up 2-1. Who are we taking?
Give me the Heat.
This series shouldn't even be coming back to New York, J-Rob. This series should already be over. If Jimmy Butler would have played in game 2, this series is over. We ain't going back to New York.
Why
This
you
series
gotta
is
do me
done.
like that?
I'm sorry, J-Rob.
Why you gotta do me like
I
that?
jumped on this whack ass New York Knicks bandwagon. I'm
No,
off
chill
of it.
out, chill
I'm
out,
so
chill out,
off of it.
chill out,
Get off this whack ass New York bandwagon.
Whack
Whack ass New
Chill.
York
I will say this,
bandwagon.
Chill. The injuries have forced Tibbs to go back to his old friend. And I do think he can have a virtuoso type of game being in a 20-25 point game, and that's D Rose. If he's forced to play D Rose minutes,
D-Rose some minutes, please.
and I like D Rose, and I think they can use his offense in that series. I think this will force his hand with quickly being out. I think this could force his hand to use D Rose. That's a guy I look out for because I think D Rose, if he knows he's going to get some minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, I think he can give you 15, 16 impactful points. You know what I'm saying? His playmaking is still his ability to still be able to get off his own shot. They need that right now, man. Julius Randle's been horrendous, bro. And I think that Julius has put himself in a bad situation going forward as far as contract situation in the future with his playoff play. But the experience of a guy like D Rose and him being fresh right now, I think that could play a big factor. I would play D Rose if I was him. I would play him.
Who you got?
I got the Knicks in game 4. I think he plays D Rose. I think D Rose gives you around 15, 16 points in that game. I think there's 15, 16 big points. I think he plays D Rose. I never liked that he completely benched him anyway.
Mars on the Julius Randle slander. I'm on the Julius Randle slander.
No, I said he's going to have over 23.5 points today. So the Knicks, he's going to be 2-0 in games he plays well. That's the prediction. He's going to be 2-0.
Fluent, I see you shaking your head. How you feel?
Timothy, James, Jordan, Butler, second will make it 3-1.
I'm gonna find that dude and get a DNA sample. I'm gonna see him drinking a soda or something. I'm gonna get it out the garbage. Let me see if I can run up on Jay and do a DNA test on him. Them dudes related. I'm convinced of that. Yeah.
J-Rob, you got the Heat tonight?
Take that fan head off, J-Rob.
You know what?
J-Rob, no, take that hat off. Take it off.
My mom, you know what? My mama ain't raised no hoe. Go New York, go New York, go. And with that being said, I'm rocking with Ticket. We're gonna get a D Rose virtuoso. Jalen Brunson is gonna be C1, send one, and we're gonna get this dub. We're gonna win by 2 points.
Damo, how you feeling?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If I'm relying on Derrick Rose minutes in 2023, give me the heat. Give me the heat. That's all I need to hear. If Tibbs is watching this, if you consider him putting Derrick Rose, you might as well consider going home. Because
Dom, can I ask you a question? Was D Rose washed up last year?
Was he washed up? I won't say washed up, but I don't think he was a guy that I'm about to rely on in the playoffs this year. I haven't seen nothing from him.
No, I'm saying, well, wow. I mean, he would have been playing big minutes. I mean, he still would have been playing around 25, 26 minutes if they didn't get Brunson, right?
I would assume.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I don't think 16 points is bad to say for him in a playoff game.
How many minutes does he average this season?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying because Tibbs said he's gonna probably play him tonight.
But I'm saying, how many minutes does he average this season? Because I know we had this conversation before about guys needing to play in the regular season and play to get their bodies ready and conditioned for the playoffs. And if you're giving me Derrick Rose in 2023, who hasn't played at all or hasn't played much at all,
I don't even remember the last time he's been in the line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Playoffs and here's the one thing. Here's what I can use logic for Lonnie Walker. Not saying that Lonnie Walker has not played for a long time. He had been in the doghouse where he was getting a lot of DMPs and he was getting 2 and 3 minute games, and he just came out the blue and gave you a solid. But for me, Derrick Rose, wily veteran, stays in shape, keeps himself ready to go. I don't see why he couldn't have a 16 point game.
85. He has 85-year-old knees. I think it's a big difference comparing him not playing all season to Lonnie Walker playing half the year with.
No, I'm saying I think that no. My point is I think that kind of works in his favor a little bit because he hadn't been worn down through the season.
All right, fellas, we will see tonight whether Derrick Rose will get adequate minutes. And we will see tonight whether
Ron, everybody look down when I say that, right?
No.
We come in here tomorrow, and D Rose does exactly what I say.
I'm giving it up.
The hate is gonna be real. The hate is gonna be real, bro.
I'm giving it up. I'm giving it up.
Hey, Derrick Rose can have a good game. But when the Heat still win, I'm just going to tell you.
Now you're more fluent.
That's it.
All right, fellas. And that is that. On our way out, I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. I'm going to encourage you guys to download the app. We're doing a $20 giveaway to anybody that sends us their account in our Instagram. You do that. Use the panel promo code, and we'll see you same time tomorrow. Y'all got it.
Be easy.
I got the heat, by the way.